If you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Special thank you to Landmark Coffee Roasters, a sponsor for this podcast. If you haven't tasted their coffee, you got to go check it out. Some of the best beans in Southern California. LandmarkRoasters.com. Ladies and gentlemen, David DeJesus in the Stoke House.
Yeah.
David, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are a professional baseball player. Played for 12 years, 13 years?
Parts of 13 years.
13 years. You played in the MLB for Kansas City, Royals, the Athletics, the Cubs, the Nationals, Tampa Bay Rays, and the Angels, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Yep.
Which were they called the Anaheim Angels at that time, or were they Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at that time?
I think they were the long form one.
Got it. Okay. You are of Puerto Rican descent.
Yes.
And you also were analysis for the Cubs with the NBC Sports Chicago.
Yes, a year after I retired.
Incredible. You're from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Born, but raised a lot of time in Jersey, right?
Exactly. Raised
Yes. You are lefty.
Bat lefty and throw lefty.
Bat and throw lefty.
But everything else I do righty.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. You debuted September 2nd, 2003 for the Royals.
Yes.
And your last appearance was September 23rd, 2015 for the Angels. 99 home runs.
Yeah,
Smashing.
I wanted to stop at 99.
You're like, that's enough.
That's a good amount.
Let's go for 99. I like that.
Exactly.
This commentator said this. I had to say this is so good. In June 15th, 2008, DeJesus hit the first Grand Slam of his career. This prompted the game color to remark he smashed the living DeJesus out of that ball.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things, I love that. But one of my favorite things about you is when you stepped into the church here at Legacy, you chose to be one of the brothers, just building the guys up, encouraging the guys, even though you're a rock star. Like, you're just like, I'm just one of the dudes. Like, I just want to love these guys and serve them.
Amen.
And you've done it well. You're a good father. You love your son well. And you love the Lord and the brothers here at Legacy well. We've had some great workouts in the gym.
Yeah.
Dude, welcome to the show.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate those words.
Yeah. No, had to have you on.
Yeah.
We've had some good talks, got to hear a little bit of your story. And of course, you know what, man, who's been involved in any type of athletics isn't intrigued about the journey and process of becoming a professional player.
Yeah.
To play at that level and to get there and then to stay in the game for so long is not easy to do. And to make it out on the other side, a good man, a good father, just that's also not easy to do.
For sure.
To make it on the other side of professional sports and to have life, moving in the right direction. Praise God.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. That's it. That's what it's about.
So you grew up on the East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah. I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Wow.
I have an older brother. His name is Eric.
Okay.
My mom is Victoria DeJesus. My dad is Heriberto DeJesus.
Okay.
And my dad was from Puerto Rico. My mom was from Brooklyn, but her parents were from Puerto Rico.
Got it.
So that's the 100% right there.
Wow.
Right? So
wow.
that's pretty crazy.
You're 100%.
100%.
Whoa.
Yeah. So fast forward, I got a D in Spanish my senior year during basketball season, so that didn't go well. Mom
and Dad were like, "What?
You're supposed to be able to speak Spanish."
Right.
But to give myself credit, they spoke Spanish around each other when they didn't want us to know what they were talking about.
Right.
So it wasn't like around every day.
Right.
So
this is kind of common, right, with first generation.
Exactly.
Because they were like nervous about their kids not being able to integrate and have great English.
Exactly. My dad came over here only speaking Spanish.
Got
so
it.
he had to like really get to learn English.
Got it.
So me and my older brother were born in Brooklyn, New York. Then we moved to Staten Island, where my younger brother, Michael, was born.
Okay.
Mikey.
Okay.
His name. And then we moved to Jersey. So that's like the progression.
Got it.
Then you go to Jersey.
Got it.
And you have land.
Yeah.
You have this nice neighborhoods.
Wow.
You get grass around.
Wow, it's a lot more wide open, huh?
Exactly.
And Brooklyn, when people comment on your accent, is there any differentiation between Brooklyn and Jersey?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. You'll only know if I'm like from Jersey or the East Coast when I say like water, right? That when it comes out.
Got it.
Right? Like,
Got it. Okay.
But I didn't get that. To me, that New York accent is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I was like, it's like you're trying to sound like this area.
Right.
So I tried to avoid it, but there's words that pop up. But it was great. We had a good time.
Great upbringing.
Great upbringing.
So was your dad the sports lover? Was your mom the sports lover?
My dad, for sure. He played baseball. So he grew up in Puerto Rico just with his friends playing.
Okay.
Whenever we can get to the park.
Right.
But it's hard to you can't just you can go to the basketball court, hey, let's just shoot some hoops.
Right.
You can't go to the baseball field and hey, let's play a game. You got to have a number of dudes to go there and play with, right? So he would play with his friends at the park, and that's where he just learned to love baseball. It's Puerto Rico. Baseball is their number one thing there.
Got it. Who's some of the top players come out of Puerto Rico?
Clemente. Okay. I think he is one of the top players to come out of there.
Yeah.
So I just went to the Little League, no, not the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York recently. So I had to get a Clemente jersey.
Wow.
It was really cool to see all that. And, but yeah, he was the guy that my dad would talk about.
I see.
Growing up.
So your dad grew up in Puerto Rico and hard upbringing, okay upbringing. What life was he working? Was he how did he make his way over?
Yeah, so he was a kid, but at 14 he had to run his dad's suit store.
Wow.
So he was already you got to do this.
Yeah.
So it kind of pushed his childhood to the side. It's like, no, you're in charge of this family. You're the oldest son, oldest of I think 11. So
wow.
His childhood was pushed away.
I see.
So that was the tough upbringing there. His parents were really strict as well.
Yeah.
So loved him. My grandpa just passed away recently, but I loved him. He was a funny dude. He was always cracking jokes, always in the garden making food and planting vegetables. So I'm going to miss him, but I'll see him in heaven.
Yes. All the family in Jersey?
No, the family was in Florida.
Okay.
So my dad's side was in Florida. My mom's side was in Brooklyn, New York area.
Got it.
So, all right, he already had an upbringing of, I got to be in charge already. So he went to the military, and he was on his way to becoming something, but he had high blood pressure, and you couldn't do that to fly planes. I think he wanted to fly planes. Didn't do that. So once he got released from, I don't know what it was, released from the Army or Navy or whatever that is.
A medical release or something like that?
Exactly. He came to Brooklyn, New York.
Wow.
His family lived near my mom's family.
Okay.
And that's how they met.
I see. Got it.
And then then Brooklyn was the place where they got married. They dated for a while. And then once they got married, it's like, all right, let's have kids.
Wow.
It's kind of different than nowadays,
sure,
right?
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So your mom was already in Brooklyn?
My mom was here. She's grown up, went to college here.
Oh, wow.
And she was really close to her parents.
Okay.
Her parents were tough on her as well. You can't do all this. There were so many rules back then. It's just a different time period.
For sure. Yeah.
They wanted to take care of their daughter.
Yeah.
So
they're strict for good reason, right?
Exactly.
They want you safe. They want you to learn to work hard. They want you to make something of yourself.
Exactly.
We didn't come here to this, country to just sit around and we're going to get after it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you hear that a lot from first generation families. They've sacrificed so much in order to make it, to here and to get here, and then they see the opportunity. It's like, I know where we came from. You hear the stories,
Yeah.
And so there's opportunity there. But so how long were you in Brooklyn for until you moved to Jersey?
So we moved to Staten Island. So we were in Brooklyn. We were in Brooklyn for 3 years.
Got it.
My younger brother, I was born in 79.
Okay.
My younger brother was born in 83 in Staten Island.
Got it.
So we were there for 3 years. And then I think a couple years later, we moved to Jersey.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So most of your memories then are locked in Jersey.
Jersey, yeah. I don't really remember too much.
I was going to ask about the pizza shop, Brooklyn. Like, which one?
Don't got that yet. I don't know. I was hoping my parents would give me little pieces.
Yeah. So, and then you were the middle child.
I'm the middle child.
Yeah. What's that like growing up with older brother, younger brother?
It was the passed down clothes. I wore whatever my older brother's sneakers or clothes. That's what I was getting, and it was given to my younger brother as well. But it was super chill. I was one of those guys that really just didn't want to rock the boat. I'm just gonna go out, do my thing. But when we were young, my dad loved baseball. So it was, all right, baseball, we're going to practice baseball. We're going to, be baseball players. We played all the other sports as well, because I think that's important. And I try and teach my son is play everything. Then you can specialize in one thing as you get older. Right? So we were always practicing. It was if you didn't want to practice, you were punished.
Wow.
That type of thing.
What did he have vision for pro baseball for you guys, like his kids?
Yes, had to. Had to. For just all three of us. I'd say out of the three of us, my older brother I think was the most talented.
Really?
He was 6'2".
Wow.
Bigger.
So he's built.
Hit home runs.
Wow.
In like high school. And he could play. He could run. He was a good first baseman. But he dislocated both his shoulders his senior year.
Yikes.
So that
in high school?
In high school, yeah. One was he's a first baseman, caught a wild throw, caught it and tried to tag the runner and took his shoulder out.
Wow.
And the other one was diving back into first base, taking a lead, didn't have a big enough lead, dove back, popped his shoulder out.
Crazy.
So it's just so unfortunate.
It's one of those freak things.
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
You would have thought that within a 3-month span, you can't even throw anymore.
Wow.
So he went to college, tried to continue playing.
Right.
It wasn't in the thing for him.
Got it. I see.
So
dad was pushing this since you were kids. It's like, it was like baseball was the thing that he was going to like almost teach you life through or something. Like this is what we do. This is
what I want for you.
Got it.
So it wasn't really a choice. It's like, you're going to practice.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to practice. I remember we had a little red Honda Civic hatchback. He'd put the L screen on top, and then he on one side, his arm is out holding one side. Right. Whoever's in the front seat on the other side, they're holding the L screen.
That's awesome.
I'm driving to the local rec center.
Oh, I love it.
And to just take practice, hitting. We would do everything. It would be like, all right, we'd start warming up, and then it's, all right, go on the outfield. I'm going to hit balls, just catch, work on your back step, working on catching the ball, then take BP. And then once that's over, go home sometimes and do sprint work down the street.
Wow.
We're doing sprint work. And it was crazy.
So, did your dad have like intuition, like into mechanics and like, playing or was he just like, he just played street ball and like field ball, he was just, but like playing it so much in Puerto Rico and watching the game for so long, just his attention to it. Like, what was he a trained coach or something?
No,
no,
that's the thing.
So he's just like, we're just going to do drills that I'm making up.
I've seen it maybe somewhere.
I love it.
Right? Because like, you didn't have the internet to go like see these coaches how they're treating. So I think it was just, he just had that one of those passions and can see stuff and can implement it into us.
Yep.
But the thing was, we were all hitting the same. So it's almost like you're teaching the same thing to someone. Where it worked for us, but nowadays, there's little things that thinking back, I could have benefited from by not just doing the same thing.
Totally, yeah.
But it got me to where I am.
Yeah.
I needed those fundamental stuff.
Yeah. To
get me to a place where I can do that.
Well, he was teaching you work ethic and discipline from a young age, right?
Exactly. That's it. That's it.
Drive.
That's it. That work ethic is, all right, doesn't matter what happened yesterday. All you can handle is how you prepare yourself for that next day. So I think that's a lesson that I got, and I still do it. Is it routine? Is it called a routine, or is it called work ethic? I don't know what it is, but it's something that you can hang your hat on every day. That even if I did, especially in baseball, it's like it's hard to hit. Hitting 300, 3 out of 10 times you're a really good player.
Wow, right.
So being able to handle the ups and downs, but knowing that I'm going to each day prepared and ready at the best of my ability. That's how I was able to, I feel, have a long career.
How? What age did you guys start doing this with your dad? Would you remember when you first picked up a ball?
I remember in the backyard with that yellow skinny bat and the plastic ball, the wiffle ball, and just hitting and just and it was like easy to do. It was like I remember, I'm just hitting.
How old do you think you are?
This is at that point. This is probably like 5, 4 or 5. So doing that.
Wow.
And then this is so random how like smells can bring you back. I never really loved coffee.
Right.
But going back a few years, I just had my first coffee. I was going to try it.
Yeah.
So just smelling the coffee brought me back to my first 8-year-old season where it was right near Dunkin' Donuts.
Wow.
And you can smell the coffee every Saturday morning. You're like, I'm like, what is this smell?
Right.
But it brought me back to that. It was just having fun and playing and just hitting with it on the T-ball. So that's crazy how smells can do that.
Right. Yeah. Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Donuts.
Yeah. Shout out if you want to be a sponsor of this show. David DeJesus just promoted you here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We have royalties that way. Okay. That's good. So your brother, all three of you guys are playing.
Yeah.
You guys are picking up a ball. When you're really young, your dad's, all in on this and believing like, I think, I'm going to train my sons the best I can and we hope this thing hits.
Yeah.
Was there, your older brother being so good must have also been part of the drive to make you better.
Yeah.
I noticed all the sports that I did through growing up and through high school, I noticed that my youngest brother, Jess, whatever I could do, he seemed to be able to do it twice as good as me. It was like, I remember when I got football pads, I brought him home and I was just like, Jess, put on the pads. I'm 4 years older than him. I would just run him over in the front yard, but he was like, let's go again, And so when he stepped in his freshman year, he was sinking rockstar. I mean, he was killing it. Jake, the same thing, so it's interesting how, me pushing forward and challenging my younger brothers was, did you see that with your older brother?
Yeah. See, my older brother was super chill.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do, I just wanted to play like him. Yeah. So when this is crazy. So there was a 10 to 12, it's called the Little League, 10 to 12-year-old league. So when I was 9, my dad forged my birth certificate so I can play on this 10 to 12-year-old league.
Nice.
And I got to play with him.
Wow.
And these are all his friends. So I just wanted to be able to hang in with his friends.
Totally.
Right? I just wanted to be able to be good enough and just hang.
Yeah.
But I was able to good and be a starting center fielder. But that's really with my brother. I was like, I just wanted to be okay with his dudes. His guys I can be chill with. So I think that was my motivation of being able to. That's what my brother gave me the motivation to do.
Was your brother Mikey, is he coming along too? Is he
Oh yeah. So he's playing. So he's like 4 years.
4 years younger than you.
Younger.
Got
than
it.
me. So we kind of missed in high school, but he was always like with the dog.
Yeah.
Playing around. Right. He was just always around.
Totally.
And he's seeing.
Right.
He's just taking it in. He's taking in. But it's funny because my dad is like 6'2 and a half, 6'3.
Wow.
My older brother's 6'2. I'm 5'11. My youngest brother 5'8.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
He's like, what?
He's like, wait, what happened? And my mom's like 5 foot. Right? So he got my mom's side for sure.
It. Yeah.
He's like, wait, I could have taken all that.
Yeah.
But he just was a scrapper.
Yeah.
He just knew how to play the game. He got the little things of how to play the game, I think, from us.
Got it.
And then it's just like, it was like no pressure. Just go out and play.
When so you guys are doing Little League, you obviously working your way into junior high. Are you just playing? You're playing private ball, like on the side. I don't know what you call it at that time, but the I don't know if they had organized sports within junior high, or is that all outside?
So this is like when I was 14.
Yeah.
AAU
Okay.
was going on. So I made this. I got a tryout to play on this team called the New Jersey Colts. It's the best kids in New Jersey. And I go there and just try out one day. They liked me, and I was on the team. And this team was like the best thing for me. It was all wood bat, and we would just go play any age.
Why is all but wood bat like a distinction that's helpful to playing?
Yeah, because when you're swinging a metal bat, you get, I don't know if they're going to see me talking, right?
Yeah.
On a metal bat, you get that much sweet spot. So you can hit a pitch here or you hit a pitch here, and it will go the same distance. Where in a wood bat, the sweet spot is this.
I see.
You have to be more precise. You have to swing at the right pitch. You have to have your mechanics work in the right way to be able to square it up and not break your wood bat. And you don't want to break wood bats because they cost money.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
And
better not.
And then you're going to be going to work, right? To pay for that.
You're paying for that.
Exactly.
Wow, interesting. I didn't realize that. So on the length of the bat, there's basically a spot this wide on a metal bat in which you hit anywhere along there and the ball's going to go.
Ball's going to go.
But you need to find there is a place on the bat about this big for the wood that you have to hit in order for it to connect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a spot there that you won't. It'll mimic hitting it off of that wide spot on a metal bat.
Got it.
But it's minuscule.
So getting onto this team, which only allowed wood bats, is basically sharpening your mechanics.
Exactly. Because knowing down the road, they were already pointing us down the road. It's like, all right, when you get to pro ball, when you get to college, those upscale college summer leagues, it's all wood bat. So you have to be able to be confident with yourself in using that thing and know how to swing the right way.
Yeah.
So that was great. And then, so this team, we were amazing. Like we went to the so there was, I can't remember where it was, but it was like all the best teams out of every state go to this place. We play. We end up coming in second place. And it was like we had a shot, and my boy, one of my best friends to this day, we still talk about it. We're like, "Yo, what happened there?" Like, because I started the game with the bottom of ninth, we're down a run.
Okay.
I led up the inning with a double. My boy that bats second didn't put the bunt down. Didn't get strikes out or something like that.
Yeah.
The next guy hits a fly ball to left field. If he got me over to third, we would have tied the game.
Got it.
Didn't get me over, sack fly. I ended up going to third base on the fly out.
Okay.
Now there's 2 outs. And ground out to end the game.
No.
Yeah.
So you're standing there on base, just like
third, just like, oh, we're trying to win this game, and we didn't. So we're like, but that gave us confidence of next year. We went and killed everything and won it all.
Wow.
Yeah, we won it all.
So you're 14 years old when you stepped in.
14 years old. Yeah.
And you're already. Could your dad see that you were already able to play at a high level, or like, did you realize that? Like, what happened between him forging the signature, for you to get in, and all of a sudden you realize like, oh my gosh, I think I might have something.
Yeah, I think it's just all the work that we put in. It was during basketball season. He let me play, but at least 2 to 3 times a week we're downstairs in the basement. Because it's cold in New Jersey, we're hitting. My dad hung up a mattress against the wall. Right in front of the mattress was a big, heavy blanket. So we'd take a tee and hit into the blanket.
Wow!
And so this is all we can do that during the winter.
Like, how many reps are you doing?
This is going at least 100 swings a day.
100 swings a day.
Yeah. So this is just perfecting, because baseball, it's one of those things. They say 10,000 swings or something like that.
Wow.
We'll get that high quality muscle memory.
Got it.
So we were putting that time in.
What is it and what is exactly happening? Like, are you tweaking your swing, or is the natural like wind, like forcing your body into the perfect swing? Like what is you know what I mean? Like is it's like, because 10,000 swings.
Yeah.
I don't know if that forces your body into like discovering like this is how it works, and like your body just keeps adapting, and it's like it's getting easier, and my body is liking that, and it's working more. Or you know, is someone's, you know, is your dad standing there watching and saying like, you know, your foot this, you know, or your shoulders that, or like, you know what I mean?
It's a combination of both.
Yeah.
You know, at the beginning, he's like, all right, if you're hitting on, because you always started on the tee. The ball's not moving. You should be able to put a good swing on it wherever you are. So, and it's almost, he would look off the trajectory of the ball off the tee going into the net. If it's going straight, that's when you know you squared it up really well. If it's popping up, you know you're underneath it, then you're dropping your back shoulder.
I see.
So he was my video.
He was your eyes.
He was my video, like, right? So he would tell me. He would tell me. So then it gets to a point where, all right, I know how to do this. And that's with everything is you got to make it your own. You know, so I understood, okay, now I can go off when I hit this. And this is to me when I went to college or something like that, when he wasn't around. It's like, all right, I know that if I see the ball going certain ways, all right, I have to adjust. I have to micromanage, and being able to adjust in the quickest amount of time was going to help me in the big leagues.
I see.
Because once I'm fast forwarding, but once they find at that level something that you can't do there, it's a mimic game.
Wow.
The next person's going to do it because they're good enough to do it.
Wow.
And they'll hit that spot until you show that you can hit it, and then they'll try to move to another spot.
I see.
So you always have to continually adjust your game.
Right.
So that little thing of hitting into that the blanket was helping me understand my swing and know my swing, so I can adapt quickly.
Yeah, it's really interesting because it's kind of that way with most things in life. Really, anything that you put to, it's like as repetition happens, you pick up on something that you do. You learn your little tricks. You learn your little things about yourself. And you learn your little tweaks and like why it works and why it doesn't. I'll never forget, this is a golf swing, you know, but I was going with my insurance boss. Shout out to Robert Hill teaching me to golf. We go on our lunch breaks. Yeah, we go on our lunch breaks and go hit balls. And I was sitting there and he's like, I would always slice. I would always slice to the right. And he's just like, well, it's because, you know, your face, you know, you're on this thing. That he's like, let's try this. And so he readjusted the club. And I was holding the club a certain way and did it. And I basically, by adjusting the club, was able to hit the ball straight like every time. And dude, I could start swinging as hard as I wanted. Bang! Like it would just take off. I didn't correct my mechanics, right? But I was manipulating the club.
For sure.
But it was interesting that he was showing me this trick, and then my body was able to pick up on it. And these little adjustments, I hadn't even spent that much time doing it, but I realize that with a lot of things in life, but a lot of people maybe don't discover that until you do the reps.
Yeah.
You can't, it's kind of a life lesson, right? Sure. It's even with sermons, preaching, you know, you have to get to your 1,000th sermon. Like, do you really realize like what you're doing and what you're not doing? Like you can't see the tweaks.
Exactly.
And, but that's really cool that your dad, that's a gift, man. Like he gave that to you as a child.
Yeah.
That you can, adapt.
Exactly. And I'm super thankful for that. But also the way it came, the way he said it sometimes, where hey, you have to do this, you have to hit, you have to this. It wasn't the most loving thing.
Yeah.
So as a young kid, 16, 17, I'm gonna say no to something sometimes, and then I was punished.
Right.
And that's where I wish he would have been leaned a little more into the love as well. That's
good.
Okay. All right. I hear where you're coming from right now. You might not want to hit. Okay. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's up.
Right.
But it was like, no, you're going to go hit no matter what.
Right.
All right. If not, you're not going out to hang out with your friends.
Got it.
And to me, you know, as a kid, you're like, yo, I want to go out.
Right.
So I'm going to do it.
Right.
Then that got me into people pleasing.
Yeah.
Becoming that people pleaser. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna do this. So, you know, there's so many levels to it.
I see.
Everyone's story has so many levels to it. And even though I've taken so many great things out of it, that loving side is where I get to bring with my son.
Yeah. That's good.
That is the greatest gift that I get.
Yeah, maybe any you know, you got to experience that, like your dad imparted discipline and repetition and instruction and all of that to you. And at the same time, he was, he was being hard on you.
Yeah.
And he had his reasons.
For sure.
But you experienced that. Now you're a father.
Yeah.
And you're able to do this with your son now. Maybe a word to all the dads out there, who love sports.
For sure.
Love their kid. Dads can be a little rough sometimes. You're a little like, sports live or die. Like on this, like you're going pro, baby. Like, you know what I mean? And it's the soccer dad, right? Screaming at at the kid on the field and the coach and the whole.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe a word like for the dads or like some encouragement like this. If experiencing from both ends. What do you think? Some good wisdom.
Yeah, I think what my dad has given me of that work ethic is a great gift.
Yes.
But it has to be delivered in a lovingly way. I think that's where the messaging we can't hear as kids is because it's do this. I want you to be this way.
Right.
Sometimes you have to let the kids be kids and let the kids sometimes fail too. I think we're coddling a lot now of these kids. So there's so many different levels there, but I think we have to understand the words out of our mouth are so important to these kids nowadays. We have to lift them up. I see grace and truth.
Yes, that's good.
This is Jesus,
yes,
right? But good. Grace and truth, because we have to give them truth that, all right, the world isn't going to be all this, unicorns and all this stuff.
Totally.
But we have to understand that we love them and we're behind them. We're for them. So we're going to be there to pick them up, even if they fall on their face.
So good.
So I think that's where as parents, that's our job. That's our main job, is to love on them and give grace and truth.
It's good. Yeah, because super good, because they not only need the instruction and the truth to what to do.
Exactly.
But when they fail, we don't hammer them. We get to show grace. We get to love on them. We get to serve them through it. It's okay. Everybody messes up. Everybody fails in life.
Yeah.
And we'll figure this out.
Exactly.
And that father mentality, God the Father, the perfect Father, right? Amen. Loving us through it, walking us through life, regardless of what we do. He's just but he never stops declaring the truth from heaven. It's always there.
Yeah.
But then he literally walks with us hand in hand, through life.
Exactly.
And that's a good picture, because again, I'm
it's not easy.
It's not easy. Well, I mean, I literally had to stop playing basketball at the church league because I would get so in the flesh, dude. I was so competitive. I'm yelling at the guys. I'm so angry at myself. It's a church league, dude. We're just having fun, But it's I don't want to. I don't want to. My boys are young right now. I got an almost 3-year-old, almost 1-year-old. My Eden is 5.
For sure.
And that's the thing. The competitive side of me, wants them to win. I want them to succeed. I want to move forward. And so that intensity sometimes can show up, right? It's no. But what a good word to remember. They need love.
Exactly.
They need lots of space to fail and have grace.
For sure. And it could. My dad, I remember those rides home in the car, and I was good. So I was going 3 for 4, 2 for 3.
Wow.
But it was always what happened that one time you got out, rather than great job on those 3 hits. What happened that one time?
Right.
There's ways you can manipulate your words to be behind them, but hey, all right, let's really dig into what happened that one time.
Yeah.
I think that would have been so much better for me. I couldn't hear that. I heard it as criticism.
I see.
So that started pushing that relationship away.
Got it.
So even though, I love him.
Yes.
I love him as a father, but there was we didn't have that relationship.
I see. Yep.
So that's where like you said, I get to do it with my son.
Yep.
I want that relationship right now.
Yep.
I want that for lifetime. That's more important to me than him ever getting on the field making trillions of dollars.
Right.
I want to be in my son's life.
Yes.
So
yeah.
That's what matters to me.
Amen. That is the gift.
Right.
That is the gift. Because I think it's hard. It's there's something you're pointing out something that's really connects with all relationships or all people, all friendships, people everywhere, is that we can choose to say it a different way. Oftentimes we don't, because we're human and
Exactly.
we're, you know, we have the flesh, but you know, if we slow down and we take our time, you know, it's like we don't have to crush the fact, even though you got 3 out of 4 today, which is unreal,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking 75% here.
Exactly.
And or 750, you know, like, but it's like, wow, you did a fantastic job today. I mean, you basically hit everything. How did you do that? Was there anything that you're thinking about growing in, or you wish you could have, you know, figured out a little bit different? Anything that point, you know, stuck out to you? Like, yeah, you know, that last pitch that was coming, like, I kind of wish I would have done, right?
Yeah. It's such a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I think it's the question asking.
Oh.
Asking a question and then listening, letting the other person talk it out rather than having to pry open. Right? I think that's where you're going to get the most openness from the other person is when you just, hey, what's going on? These little questions, and then this person can just start yapping, and then let them go. Then you can steer them in.
Right.
So, yeah, that what you just said brings up so much stuff.
Is this a story of a lot of players?
I think a lot of players in the big leagues that have dads like this.
Yeah.
I'd say probably 70 to 80%.
Wow.
Because it's hard. It's. I mean, to get to the big leagues, it's a 0.01% chance. Like it's like harder than hitting the lottery.
Wow.
So, and then I'm coming from a small town in New Jersey.
Right.
It's cold. I'm not from Florida or California where you can play all year long.
I see.
We only have a dedicated certain amount of months where you can be outside and be seen. So,
wow, makes it that much harder.
It makes it that much harder. So,
yeah. So high school, you're playing for this team. Yeah.
At my high school team, and then at 15, I stopped playing this. I played 2 years. And then I stopped playing because now it's high school. You're like, there's plenty going on.
Okay.
And there's teams in the summer teams that you can go on as well. So I did well. Obviously, after I played varsity sophomore, junior, senior year. Freshman year, I played football.
Really?
I played football.
What position?
I was like a DB wide receiver.
Yeah,
I was like, at that time, I was probably 5'6", 5'7", 130, something like that, tiny.
Yep.
And I'm playing DB one time in practice. I'm coming in to make a tackle. The wide receiver dives right into my knee, hyperextends my knee.
Are you serious?
That moment, my dad was like, all right, you're not playing football anymore. I was like, all right, I can't see a 5'6", 130 guy. Right. Like, all right.
Right.
So I was like, I'm just going to stay football and basketball.
Got it.
Played
basketball too.
Played basketball varsity
junior
and senior year. So it was good. It kept me.
What position?
I was a point guard.
Nice.
I was great at drawing charges.
Yeah.
I could hit a layup once in a while, but if you give me 2 free throws with a time running, like we need to hit these, I'm going to miss those.
Oh, wow. Got it.
I don't know what it was with free throws.
Sure.
I couldn't hit quality free throws.
Right.
But if you put me in a baseball field in that same situation, I feel like I have that ability to just step up and do that.
You pointed out, so you played multiple sports.
Yeah.
You were playing lots of different, you're trying to play different sports.
For sure.
And you'd mentioned that earlier with your son. You think being well-rounded, playing all these different sports, very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
Very important. It teaches you different things.
Okay.
You know, I think the big thing sports is about being a good teammate.
Sure.
Right? I think that's one of the number one things I felt as when you're playing sports, understanding that, hey, you might not be the superstar. If you're the superstar, how to deal with that, how to be a good teammate to the guys below you, or if you're not, how do I get the most out of myself and the team if I'm a lesser guy?
Got it. I see.
I loved that story about it.
Yeah.
Where was I going with that?
Yeah, so your freshman year football hyperextended.
Okay.
Your dad's like, no more. We're going back baseball. And you said around 15 years old, you stepped into you stopped playing
football.
Yeah, and you kept on with baseball.
Yeah.
And then you played basketball throughout.
Yeah, basketball was fun, hanging with the friends.
Yep.
Both of my friends were basketball players. That was cool, but baseball I knew was my thing.
Got it.
I was good. So senior year, I went.
What high school did you go to?
Manalapan High School in New Jersey.
Okay.
Small school.
Yeah.
No one's ever heard of it.
Shout out.
There you go. We have a couple big leaguers too. So hey,
nice.
It's all right. It's all right. But So senior year, I went 28 for 56.
Okay.
So I hit 500.
Got it.
But before the season, my coach was like, hey, I want you to pitch. But I knew I was going to Rutgers already to play outfield. And I was like, I told him, no, I'm not going to pitch. He's like, oh, you're not pitching? All right, you're benched 7 non-conference games.
What?
I was like, there's only 21 games in a season. So I only played 14 games my senior year.
Are you kidding me?
My dad came in and he actually got him fired.
Oh, wow.
Because, like...
Why was he doing that?
I don't understand. I was the only one. I was bringing the baseball team some good things. We'd never had anyone drafted out of Manalapan at that point.
Got it.
Or even going to college or maybe or something like that. So it was unfortunate.
Why did he want you to pitch?
I don't know why. He just wanted to have a good team.
He wanted the win or whatever. Yeah.
He wanted it.
Yeah.
So it was unfortunate, but I was like...
So you were pitching, though? You were also pitching?
I was pitching and playing outfield, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what kind of insight does that give you? I mean, if you're a pitcher and you can, even though you were playing outfield in the pros, it's just like you had insight into pitching.
Exactly.
And the ball spinning and all kinds of stuff.
I think to me, just pitching was I threw hard.
Yeah.
So, and I can put it where I kind of want it. I was a 2-pitch pitcher. My dad didn't believe in off speed.
Yeah, I got it.
He believed in, you can blow your arm out.
Got it.
But look, I ended up blowing my arm out down the road.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
But, so I was a fastball changeup guy and just put it where I wanted to.
I see.
But at some point, I just loved the outfield. I loved being on that grass. I remember, this is another go back. And so I'm remembering a song, Put Me in, Coach. I'm ready to play. Right?
Yeah.
That was my song. I remember hearing that the first in the 10 to 12-year-old league when I was 9. Playing center field, I was like, oh, this song feels right out here. I'm standing on the center field grass. This is me.
Yeah.
So there was something about the outfield that I loved. And up until that point, I was playing in that 10 to 12, I was outfield, shortstop, and pitcher.
Got it.
Because I was good. I can catch ground balls at shortstop. Even though I was lefty, it's mostly right-handers they put in the infield.
Got it.
Because it's easier to throw it around and turn double plays and stuff like that. But once I got to where the big fields, it's like I wanted to be a center fielder. So I didn't really learn too much about. I knew it, but I understood how hard it is as a hitter to hit.
Got it.
Right. So, and the thing about being a center fielder is I get to read how the hitters are swinging. Say if they're behind the ball, I'll move a couple steps the other way to help me gain a couple steps. If he hits it, I can maybe make a nice play rather than it being hit. So you're always just
calculating every player.
Exactly. All right, this guy to my left might not be a fast runner. I might have to shade over to him to help him out. So there's so many little things.
Chess.
That's what I feel. That's what I call baseball right now.
It's not a stick and a ball.
No. And people watching it want it to be checkers.
Yeah.
Okay, do this. But you have to let baseball marinate.
Right.
And I didn't watch that much baseball this year, but I know they're trying to speed up the games.
Really?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
They didn't have that downtime. Like after a pitch, guys would get their, spit, the seeds out to the side, do their batting gloves and all that, right? They're like, let's clean this up. So they're given 20 seconds between every pitch.
What?
And it's brought the average time, it was over 3 hours. Now it's like 2.5.
What do the guys think about it?
I don't know enough guys to call up and be like, hey, how was it?
Yeah. What would you think about it?
The fans watching the game at home, it's quicker.
They like it?
It's concise. Yeah. I think there's been a lot of positives about the quicker game.
I see.
For fans.
Maybe it's more a balanced game because it's like now you have you had a variable time prior where it could be 35 seconds or it could be 27 seconds or it could be 45 seconds.
Exactly.
But now it's like 20. Every time. So it's kind of dialing the game a little bit better.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
It sounds good, but I was one of those guys that was spitting. Playing, I had this whole routine. I had this routine. I'd step in. I had to do my cross right next to, and this is when I became a Christian.
Nice.
Right? I had to put a cross next to the home plate and do this, dig in, swing the bat. So that would have been tougher for me.
But it made you feel comfortable.
Exactly. You just want to have a routine that, all right, I'm letting that last pitch, whatever happened that last pitch, I'm letting it go so I can move on to the next pitch. And And that was a lot of through the mental side of it as well.
I see. Yeah, I listening to some hunting podcasts, and Rogan I was talking about with some master hunter, the guy he's a master bow and arrow shooter, and they talk about the precision of the shooting, and they talk about this mental steps. And memorizing their like 10 mental steps to every single fire. So what they do is like literally this stuff, like left glove, right glove. But they're like, okay, down, up, pull back slowly, take a breath, hold, like whatever their thing is. Like bead is extended, hold 3 seconds, count 1, 2, 3, release. All of these things, because when the elk shows up, when you got this giant monster, you've been waiting like 6 days for this thing, and all of a sudden it's in front of you. It's literally like being at the World Series. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's that moment where you're like, everybody's looking at me, nobody's out there. But you're like, okay, I get one shot if I miss this. But if all of the nerves aren't like ironed out and the mental focus isn't there, you'll mess it up every time. Every time. So it's interesting, again, the mental discipline and the rhythms that take place in order to get a player to that moment where he can hit the ball consistently, or like you said, erase what just happened in the last pitch and move into the next moment and go from swinging and missing and being all ticked, reset, hit the reset button, and then like, okay, now I'm ready to hit a home run. I'm ready to get on base. So center field, you're like, for those who maybe don't fully understand baseball, like you kind of are taking the spread of like the whole outfield.
Yes.
Even though you are center, but you're kind of like, you got to have speed, you got to have stretch, you got to have like, extension, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, because you have to do, I would say it's the biggest quadrant of the field is up the middle. Like that's why they say you want to have good catcher, a good shortstop, a good second baseman, and a good center fielder.
Got it.
Because those guys that's the majority of the balls are hitting that area. So you want guys that can make plays, can range, that know how to communicate with other people as well. Because there's those times where it's an in-between ball. And you have to be able to talk and talk loud and let those other guys, infielders or other outfielders, know, hey, I got this.
Right.
And the guy that wants to make plays.
Right.
And I love that. I wanted to make play. I wanted every ball hit to me.
Got it.
So I can make the play. I trusted myself.
What happens with those bloopers? Like when you just like you see guys just like they're confused, like somebody, like it looks like somebody's fully got it, and then like is there just no communication? What happens in there?
Imagine playing in Yankee Stadium, 40,000.
Yeah.
You're not hearing that. You're not hearing each other.
I see.
Really. So you're coming in, you're running in, you're like, wait, these guys should be hitting me at this time.
Right.
So that's why a guy will pull up, or everyone pulls up and the ball just lands and it looks like it's like a fake, it's like a comedy skit.
Totally. Yeah.
But you just don't know where those other guys, and you don't want to get run over in that situation.
Yeah. So communication is like absolutely essential there in center field. And then you're not only covering left, right, but you're covering forward, backwards.
And forward and backward. Yeah.
So you said no to the pitching, or you were like no pitching.
Yes.
And he sat you for 7 games, but nevertheless you said you were on your way to
Rutgers.
Yeah. What is this?
This is Rutgers University, the birthplace of college football.
Wow.
ORU.
Wow.
Yes,
okay. Shout out.
Yeah. Big football game against Ohio State this Saturday. Hopefully, if we keep it in, lose by maybe 14 to 21. RU all day, but like this is #1 in the country.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So we're hoping for a big upset.
Exactly. That would be great. But it was awesome. I had just going there, you just don't know anyone. I didn't know really anybody going to school. So one of my first roommate, Jake Daubert, just another left-handed hitter, third baseman.
Shout out to Jake.
Jake, that's my dude.
Yeah.
Love you, bro.
Yeah.
But we were roommates for all 3 years there. We were like, let's just roll this together.
It's fun.
And just loved baseball. We were good. My freshman year, we made it to the college baseball playoff format or whatever that is, the regionals.
Yeah.
Every year I was there. So that was awesome. And then the first year went to Florida State. The second year we went to Texas Tech. And the third year, my junior year, we actually hosted because we were good. We were legit.
Wow.
We hosted it. We were the seed that all the teams are coming to.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was awesome. But it's literally what happened there is after the first game, my first at bat, we're playing against Army. I get on base, get on base, steal second base, sliding in. The shortstop try to jump over me to turn a double play. I put up my arm. His knee goes into my arm, hairline fracture, my forearm. And that was my first ever injury in my life.
Oh, no.
That was the start of a bunch of injuries after that. But
how long were you out for?
So I was out I got drafted a week later.
Oh, wow.
And then I was out till October.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was in June.
So you did 3 years there? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I went 3 years.
Yeah.
After my freshman and sophomore year, I was invited to go play in the Cape Cod League. That's where, other than Team USA, that's the best place where colleges send their best players to go.
Okay.
And I was like, all right.
So that's what you're working towards. You're hoping to get invited to this thing.
That's one of your main things.
Got it.
If I can go to Team USA, that would be sick.
Yeah.
That's hard too.
Right.
So this is a league in the Cape Cod.
Okay.
That I'd say 75 to 80% of the guys that go there at least play one game in the big leagues or get drafted or something like that. So I was like, all right. I knew I was going there after my freshman year. And just the toll of playing so many games. You play a college season, and then you're going to play more games in the Cape. I was doing really well, but then I hit that proverbial wall. Then the bat felt like a log every time I got up to there.
What was it?
I wasn't really working out either. We didn't have to work out yet. This is like pre-workout time.
Okay, got it.
This is like everyone was like, wait, Bo Jackson did push-ups and stuff?
Right.
Ken Griffey just did band work?
Wow.
All right, I'm not going to work out.
Wow.
So it's crazy to think that was going on. But I hit that proverbial wall, and then I just struggled the second half of the Cape Cod League. But they saw something, and I got invited to at the first team I played on was the Born Braves.
Okay.
And then the second team I played on was the Chatham A's.
Okay.
In Chatham, Massachusetts. So the second year I went back, did really well. I had a great year at Rutgers. And then I went back and had a really solid year in the Cape Cod, made the All-Star team. And do you remember the movie with, I can't remember her, Jessica Biel.
Okay.
And this, man, we're going to have to find the name of the movie, right? Jessica Biel and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Okay.
It's about so it's something next door or something like that. I can't remember the name of this.
Yeah, here we go. I got it. It is Summer Catch.
Summer's Catch.
Yeah.
Summer's Catch.
Yeah.
Okay. So
2001.
The makers of Summer's Catch was the same makers of the American Pie.
Okay. Yeah.
So the producer came out.
Yeah.
And he wanted to take a few players. So there was 3 guys from Rutgers. So we all went out with the producer.
Yeah.
And he's talking about, we have this movie, we're going to be bringing about, talking about Cape Cod and the Chatham team. So we told him, he's like, tell us stories. What goes on here? So a bunch of those stories in that movie are from
No way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's so crazy.
Okay, we got to go watch it now. Yeah, it's fun. Date night.
Yeah. So so then after the movie, we go to the bar, we're eating, and next thing you know, this guy is drunk, like sitting under the table. We're like, this movie's going to be trash.
Right.
And then the Summer Catch comes out. We're like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy movie. It was crazy. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it was a great season. I did really well. The next year I was a preseason All-American.
Wow. Wait, so what was happening? What does doing really well mean? Like you're hitting.
I'm hitting. Yeah, I'm hitting.
You're hitting 300.
Over 300.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm hitting over 300.
Got it.
There, and I'm just playing really well.
Got it. You're making plays. You're consistent.
And I didn't hit that wall. It's like I kind of learned how to manage my body.
Got it.
And continue playing good to the end of the season.
Right.
Did really well. That's when you make the All-Star team. that's when you know you're onto something.
Any major things when you reflect on Rutgers like that stuck out like that? Any major like what happened there that like switched? And you knew like I'm going pro or I'm going to figure this out.
I know it was our head coach Fred Hill. He passed away a few years ago, but the one thing he taught me was, in baseball, there's always somewhere to go. If the ball's hit to a ground ball to first base, the left fielder could be backing up somewhere. So we would always go through situations where, all right, there's a normal play. Hey, say we hit the ball to left field. All right, I'm the center fielder. What do I do? All right, I have to go back up the left fielder from catching the ball, ground ball to him. And then if he throws it to second base, if there's another throw, there's somewhere else where I need to be going.
I see.
So that taught me as I got going that there's always somewhere to go. And when the coaches of the major league teams draft me, they don't have to coach me on that. They're like, hey, we know what this guy's going to do.
I see.
He's ready. Now we can go focus on other people. So that was the thing. Is like I knew how to play the game the right way from my coach. He taught how to bunt the right way, how to take leads, how to steal bases, all the little things that my dad couldn't teach.
Sure.
He gave me that wisdom.
Wow. Praise God.
So that's the wisdom that got me to a level where, I'm not a blue chipper. I wasn't a first round pick, but I was a guy that knew how to play the big game, the baseball, and knew how to play it the right way and was dedicated to it.
I see. Yeah. No, what a lesson for life. Listen to the old men.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've learned the little tweaks. They learned the little extras in every single position. Because it's like, see, these are things that you don't learn, and sometimes you can get stuck as a player, right? And you're like sitting there like, I don't get it. I'm doing all my workouts. I'm doing all my stuff, like I'm showing up, like all this stuff, but you miss a couple of those wisdom things. Like you need to be able to do this, and it's like, and it's not enough even just to probably say it to somebody, but if he's showing you, like you just said, like I can envision the picture of like, the ball is going towards the second baseman. You can see the ball going. It's like, I need to run to the other side just in case he misses that thing. It's like, and that makes all the difference in the world. So you don't have major error and you can stop the play. So it's like, but these little tweaks, gosh, they are for everything, man. I mean, all of life, from running a business to family, marriage, to spirituality. Because a lot of times we can just see that it's like, go and pray. But then I like this, why don't you go take a walk and do so? Why don't you do it in your car? Why don't you talk to the Lord, when you rise up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, when you go, you know what I mean? It's like giving the full spectrum. And it's fun to hear how old men have done this their whole life. And you're like, wait, that's what you did? You're like, yeah, I just talked to the Lord when I was doing dishes. You're like, really? And that helped your heart? It's like, yeah, that was my thing,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like,
so good.
all these, but praise God for Fred.
Yes.
Who imparted this wisdom to you there in college, and you were able to turn it on.
Exactly. And I would say another thing, I was just thinking about another thing was, I remember my junior year, I'm already, I'm one of the best in our team, on our team. All right. Just like anyone, I'm gonna screw up. I'm gonna mess around. And he called me out and kicked me out of practice one day.
Wow.
So
how old? You're probably 21.
I'm 18. Wait, so I went to college at 17, 18, 19. I'm at 19.
Wow.
So there was no favorites. He held everyone accountable the same way. And I love that because like it showed that if you're number 1 or number 52 or whatever, you're going to get treated the same way. So I think that gave everyone confidence that there's no favorites on this team. So I think that's another thing of wisdom that he gave me. It's like, hey, we're all going to make mistakes, but there's no one better than another person. And now that's tough to do. It's tough to handle sometimes, right? Like in football or in baseball, you see recently the guy gets kicked or a guy starts yapping. You want to call him out.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard to let you to say I'm going to sit my best player on my team.
Right. Right.
But he had the wherewithal within himself to create a culture there.
That's good. It doesn't matter that you're number one.
Exactly.
You're not going to act like that.
Exactly. We're not dealing with that here.
So he checked you then.
It's great.
He checked you, and it went a long way.
Exactly.
Wow, he's a man of character as well. We're trying to produce integrity in the team, and just says, hey, we're all the same, and even though some of you are better than the others, like, you're not going to act that way.
Exactly.
And that probably goes along. A lot of people don't know this as well. We've talked about this. Maybe we talk about it a bit more when we get into the pro season. But personality goes a long ways in the big leagues.
Yeah.
And like just because you have talent doesn't mean that everything just works. You act a fool like in those locker rooms, like you're gonna get sat down, right?
Sure, for sure.
Trip, right? But so he's instilling that in you as well.
Exactly.
So you're at Rutgers 3 years, and all of a sudden, the Cape Cod thing's going down. You're doing really well.
Yep.
And you get the phone call.
So I have a broken arm at this point. So and at this point, the draft is not on TV. You have to sit in front of a computer, and they're just logging names in. And if you see your name, oh yeah, okay, cool. So
what in the world?
Yeah, that was the draft.
Wait,
then.
So what year is this?
This is in 2000.
2000. And so tell me about the day.
So wake up in the morning, and this is draft day, and I'm hearing that I'm going to be in the first 3 rounds.
You're 19, you're 20?
This is 2020, June of 2020. I am 19? No, maybe 20. Maybe 20. I think 20 at this point.
So 3 years in Rutgers, right?
Yeah.
So you stepped in at 17, and then you're probably around 20 years
19,
old?
20.
Okay.
18, 19, 20.
Got
Yeah,
it.
for sure. So I'm 20 years old. And, I'm thinking first or third round. I'm like, okay, cool.
How did you already know?
Because that's what the scouts are saying.
Okay.
So
you'd already talked to the scouts the week prior or 2 weeks prior?
Well, you're not talking to the scout. That's what the scouts are saying about you. They
I
talk
see.
to our coach.
I see.
They put a lot. This Baseball America was a magazine that they put out, and they kind of they assess you when they think they're going to get drafted. Yeah. So it's not like I'm talking to them.
So was there a moment prior to that where someone said to you, like, I think you're going to be on the list?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, were you shocked by that, or was it because you were doing so well and being massaged into that position, you were hoping for that and kind of expecting that you would probably be somewhere in there?
Yeah, they come out with your draft stuff.
Got it.
In that magazine, you're always, like the top picks. Or
you can kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, they give like a mock draft.
I see.
Right, so you're just searching for your name. You're here. But I remember going into my junior year. I can't remember what his name was, but he was an ex-ball player that went to Rutgers.
Okay.
And before the season, I met up with him. He's like, yo, I hear you're going to get drafted. Here's a bunch. Here's just some wisdom. And so at that point, I'm like, all right.
That's crazy.
I did well in the Cape.
Yeah.
Now I have guys, ex-baseball players talking to me. I'm like, all right, I feel like I'm going to get drafted.
Wow.
For sure. But then by the end of the season, I'm like, all right, they think they're narrowing it down to the top 3. So I'm like, okay, this is sick. All right. So I wake up, winning a round, watch the first round of the draft. And at that point, I was like, I can't do it anymore. It's like too like,
so you're just like
you're
sitting there waiting,
and you're just like, name.
Are you by yourself? Or is
my dad's there?
Your dad's there.
My dad's there.
Wow.
So we're just like, name. Okay, that's not me. Name, not me. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Wow.
I can't sit here and just watch this.
Right.
So it comes probably an hour later in the 4th round. The Royals, and I hear some clapping upstairs. I was like, oh yeah, and I was like, wait, what's going on? Dad's like, hey, you just got drafted to the Royals. And that's literally how I found out I got drafted to the Royals. So I'm like, at that point, I'm like, oh man, I wish I got drafted by the Yankees. You want to? That's
sure.
what Yankees are.
Yeah. Tell me about that. So what in the heart of a child, in the mind of a boy,
for sure,
swinging a stick at a ball, just like. I put so much work into this, blood, sweat, and tears my whole life. Like, I'm waiting for this moment. I'm New York, baby. What is it?
Yo, it's really, I remember going to Yankee games and just sitting in that stadium. It's something special.
Right.
And just to think that I have an opportunity now to be one of those guys that people are in the stands or watching.
Got it.
It was surreal.
Yeah.
But I was like worried about, I didn't know the blessing that the Lord was giving me until I saw it down the road.
I see.
But it was like, man, I want to be a Yankee.
Yeah.
That would be so cool, right?
Yeah, right.
But it wasn't that way. And so the Royals draft me in the 4th round. I get a call right after that from the GM or something. Hey, Dave, we're so thankful for you. We'd love to have you. Can't wait to see you soon. But I have a broken arm at that point. So they're like, hey, don't worry about it. Get your like arm healthy. And they have every October, there's an instructional league for that year's draft and the year before's draft. Just guys to be around their coaching,
Sure.
to stay within the organization. So I was like, they're like, I'll see you in October. So now I'm, walking around. Oh, I got drafted, and just pumped
in the neighborhood.
up.
Yeah.
Pumped up.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
right.
No. So when is this moment? Like you hung up the phone. You're like, oh my gosh, I just got drafted. But like as the weeks are going on, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I got you're talking to your friends, people from high school, people from what college. You're just like
exactly.
They're like, dude, you're going.
Yeah, like they know you're going now. It's surreal.
Yeah.
It's like the limelight gets put on you, for what you've done on the field.
Yeah.
And that the thing was at that point I have an agent, and now it's like trying to. How much money am I going to get for this?
Right.
So now it's like thankfully, like
wow.
at agent, they had to do all that.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother thing that hopefully you put people that you trust around you to make really high quality decisions.
Right.
So I had a good agency that was behind me. They got me a good amount of money.
That's awesome.
And I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm going. I'm a 4th round pick.
Wow.
I'm not going to waste any time here. School wasn't my thing.
Right.
I was like, let's go play baseball. Let's start it right now.
Yeah.
So in October comes down. My arm is healed, but I didn't do too much throwing. I was just kind of just letting it heal. I go down there the first day. This is in Haines City, Florida. Okay. This is where the spring training of the Royals used to be. First day there, we're just throwing from the outfield. You throw to second base, you throw a few to third, and you throw a few home. That's like the every time you do infield, it's called infield outfield. Okay. It starts with they're hitting ground balls to the infielders. They get all their work done. They start hitting the outfielders. We throw to bases. Got it. And we're done.
Got it.
First ball to me, I come up, throw a third base. I feel like a little like twinge in my elbow. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? Yeah. I was like, all right, let me just try another one. I threw it like 10 feet. I was like, oh my arm was killing me. I walk off the field. They're like, are you okay? They're like, I don't know, my arm. Let me go check with the trainers. Go get an MRI. I slightly tore my ulnar collateral ligament. That's your Tommy John. It's called Tommy John.
Got it. With that single throw.
One throw. So I'm like thinking, man, I should have stopped pitching years before that. Right. Like, who knows, right? So at that point, I find out they're like, hey, go home, rehab your arm, and come back to spring training in 2001 ready. So I did that. My arm was fully ready. I was ready to roll. I go to spring training. You get placed on different teams in spring training. Okay. So I'm on the team that's in. So it starts as low A. So there's levels. Got it. The bottom level is low A. Got it. Then high A. Okay. Double A, triple A, big leagues.
Wow. It was 4 levels?
Five levels. 4 levels before
the big leagues.
But then you have like rookie league and those leagues for just like people from the Dominican coming over. Wow. Like the coming from different countries. There's a rookie league there when that's like 16, 17-year-old. I'm already college. Got it. So I'm already past. I'm going to high A. All right. So they put me in high A team. Got it. Going through spring training, feeling good. 4 days before I was supposed to go to, I was going to go to the low A team. I was assigned to go to the low A team. My dad goes there. This is the first game my dad pulls up to. I'm making a throw from center field, come up throwing. Dude, it was a bullet. But after I threw it, I heard a pop. No. And I'm seeing stars. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I just blew my arm out. No. So I'm like letting it be. I called timeout. I called my like left fielder and right fielder. I'm like, guys, I think I blew my arm out. I try to like move it just an inch up. Oh my gosh. The pain in my elbow. I was like, guys, I got to walk off this field. My first game my dad sees, I'm walking off the field. Of course. A few days later, Tommy John surgery. Now I'm going to miss a whole nother season.
Oh.
So this is 2 seasons in a row.
Dude.
So it happened. I had surgery in March of 2001. Thankful for this day. To this day, it's still that they take the tendon out of your other arm. Tendon out of your other arm, put it in there, figure eight it a few times.
Whoa.
And you're ready to roll. Now you just got to let it heal.
Are you serious?
And
so still to this day?
To this day, it's unbelievable. Imagine pitchers back in the day that did not have this. Like, you're in one injury, you're done.
Right.
And then this guy, Tommy John, he was the first player to get this. They just tried it on him.
Wow.
It worked, and now it's a career saver.
Amazing.
So
you're probably 22
now,
at this point.
This is 22, yes.
22.
21. I turned 22 at the end of 21.
Got it.
Right.
And you're in the upper A, is that right?
So I'm in low A right now.
Low A.
But I haven't even played a game.
Okay.
So that season goes by, I rehab it, feel good. I try to go back to college. I signed up for like 4 classes, and I did end up going to 1 class. Wow. And I was like, all right, cool. Let's go back to baseball.
What was that like in those seasons? You know, you're at 2 seasons sitting, like just trying to heal. Was that discouraging? Was that rough?
I had my friends around me.
That's good.
So that was good.
Yeah.
But my mentality is, give me this day.
Yeah.
I got this. I got to make the best of this day.
Yeah.
I didn't really look forward like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my rehab in, and I'm around doctors that tell me it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I trust in that. So I'm still doing my hitting. I'm with my dad, so I'm still doing that.
Doing your workouts.
Just getting my workouts in, and so the following spring training comes around. Now we're in 2002 spring training.
Okay.
I'm fully healed. I remember going to spring training, and you're lining up on the grass, and all the coaches are out there. And I remember George Brett, stud Kansas City Royal third baseman. He's like,
wow.
Are you going to play this year? I'm like, what do you mean? I've been hurt. He's like, I want to see what you do, man. You're a 4th round pick. You haven't done nothing for us yet. So it's like, it was like putting that pressure on me. I was like, all right, cool. It's all right. That's just the way it was in that situation.
Sure.
So I went through spring training, and they're like, hey, we're going to put you in high A. So they just skipped that level that I was supposed to be the year before. They're like, hey, we're going to put you out. You're a college dude. Let's see what you got.
Wow.
So I ended up getting to play with one of my teammates at Rutgers at that time, Darren Fenster.
Wow.
High quality dude. So we played together. And 3/4 of that season, I played in the high A. By the last quarter, I got called up to Double A.
Really?
In my first season.
How does that happen?
Yeah, you're just doing so well that they're like, hey, this guy can handle this competition.
He's ready for the next level.
He's ready for the next level.
Wow.
But going on the other side is Carlos Beltran is the Kansas City Royals starting center fielder.
Okay.
And he's becoming too expensive for the Royals. He's doing so well on his side that, the Royals are known to, when it gets to a certain time in your career, the center fielder is Johnny Damon. Is the same thing. Got too good, got traded to the Boston Red Sox.
I see.
And Carlos Beltran was getting too good. He ends up getting traded to the Houston Astros down the road. But so that's going on there. So it's me and another center fielder that are like, he's in AAA right now. I get to AA. So we're the prospects that are behind him. So I finished out the season doing well. After the season, there is an Arizona Fall League that goes on for each team. There's like 7 teams on one team. There's like, I guess there's 5 teams or 4 teams in the league. So every team has a bunch of different guys there. They're top prospects. So I go there. I was one of the guys that go there. I do really well there. I made the all-star team of that Arizona Fall League.
Wow.
On my first year there. So I'm like, all right, this is good. This is really good.
So you're just hitting the jackpot year after year.
I'm just responding.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting a spot, like getting a shot, and I'm doing well and pushing the envelope. So that season's done now. 2003 season comes. I get injured in spring training. I'm feeling like there's a shot of me making AAA or maybe even the big leagues.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't make the big league team. I get hurt in spring training. I get back. They send me to AA right away. I'm only at AA for 3 or 4 weeks. They're like, hey, you're doing well here. You're ready for AAA.
So you recovered quickly from this injury?
It was just like a shoulder injury, diving or something like that. Yeah. So now I'm in AAA. Proceed for the last 4 months in AAA and doing well, did well. And my car's packed once the season's over, ready to go home. The manager, we're in Colorado Springs playing the Colorado Rockies AAA team. And me and Mike McDougal, he was a kid that's been up and down with the big leagues team. He's a pitcher. He's like, gets called into the office after the season. He's like, hey guys, I just want to let you know that you're getting called up to the big leagues. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? This wasn't even in my thinking that I was going to get called to the big leagues.
You were on your way home.
Way home. Car's packed. I'm going to, all right, we're going to go home. Got my vacation lined up. Then it's like, no, you're getting called to the big leagues.
What in the world?
They want to bring young guys to get to know the whole big league feel of travel, the other dudes, just the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So just to dip your foot in. So I get called into the big leagues.
You got the phone call.
Got the phone call. Call my parents. Yo, you gotta get to Texas. I'm going to Texas. They're like, hey, we can't get to Texas. We only have one more game in Texas. Then we're going back to Kansas City. So I was like, all right, just go to Kansas City. It'll all be good. I fly into Texas. At this point, you know, I have my big bag of all my bats and stuff, and this is where we're
you losing your mind.
Yeah, I'm like it's so surreal.
Yeah,
it's so surreal to me. I pull up to the stadium in my bag, and in a taxi too. This is no Ubers, none of that's going on. You call a taxi at the hotel. The taxis is a yellow car they used to have.
Where would you like to go, sir? I want to go to the baseball stadium.
Exactly.
No. I just got called in the big leagues. Like, are you serious? Yeah. These are my bats, and exactly. I'm gonna.
I think these taxi guys, they run a lot of that. They stay in the area, so it was unbelievable. So I take it out. He drops me off. I'm like, where do I go now? So I'm just like searching for people, and I see one of my teammates. Oh, wait. So we walk down this. There's like a little path down onto the field. In the back behind the field, it's like where the staff like move popcorn and all that stuff. And there's a ramp. There's a ramp down, and then you just see the stadium inside. Dude, opening up to that stadium, it was humongous comparatively to the AAA stadiums.
Right.
And I'm walking to my locker.
This is Texas?
This is Texas.
This is Rangers?
This is Texas Rangers in Arlington.
Wow.
But they have a new stadium now.
Okay,
but this is their old stadium.
Got it.
Humongous stadium. I'm walking through it. I'm like, I can't believe this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm walking to the locker room, and my locker is between Carlos Beltran, the best player on the team, Mike Sweeney, the captain of the team.
Crazy, man.
So I'm like, I get in my locker, take stuff off, push my chair in. I want to be.
Is your name on the locker or something?
It's on the locker. This is my jersey's hanging up right there. DeJesus on the back.
Oh my gosh.
And
it's like that moment.
That moment is real. But I'm like, I don't want to I'm like seen, not heard. I'm like, push my locker seat all the way in. So the captain, Mike Sweeney, comes up to me. He's like, Dave, stand up for a second. I'm like, all right, yeah, for sure. What do you want? But he gives me a hug. He's like, hey, you belong here.
Wow.
That was he is the one that got me into the faith. Just that loving gesture.
Wow.
He didn't have to do it. Didn't have to do it at all. Just loves people so much. He's known as the hugger. So he hugs people. He loves on people. So that was like, oh man, the captain of the team sees me and acknowledges me and lifted me up. Man, words are so important to me at that point. So that was something that I took from him that I feel I love doing now, is encouraging, just with some words.
Powerful.
Right. So that was an unbelievable. I'm so thankful for that gift of that.
Shout out to Mike Sweeney.
Mike Sweeney, you're that guy.
Yeah,
you're that guy.
Wow, he took the risk.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know what this kid thinks, but I'm just going to overpower him with love.
Unbelievable.
And I'm going to be that guy. And then because, you're like taking a risk on people when you do that, you're like, you don't know what they think about what you're doing and this and that. But you're like, he had an aim and mission to like love you, serve you from day one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy, man. But I love it. I love hearing that there are guys in the locker room like that are like, the game is fun and it's about the game, and we're gonna have a great time. It's a business. We're gonna make some money, but man, I'm in here to impact people.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
so cool. And we did last year. We did the Royals have a fantasy camp where just a bunch of 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old guys go there and just play ball. And Mike was there, and we took a picture of brothers in Christ. Now we're brothers in Christ together. Dude. Like it's so cool.
Praise God.
Right? That's an amen.
Yes.
Just it's so amen to that. So
he was instrumental then through your
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because he was always the one trying to come to mass, and I was the one that was, oh yeah, you know, I'll drop my bats in there for good luck. To me, God was good luck. He's a big man upstairs. I don't have a relationship with him. He's just bigger. He's up there, and if I can get something good out of it, okay, cool. So he was, but his continual not letting, just inviting, and not showing me. Oh, you didn't come. Oh, I got to stay away from you now. That's love. To me, that was loving.
You just kept loving you regardless.
Loving no matter what. No matter what.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Did you have any religious upbringing at all? Any connection to the church? Any connection to God? Any Jesus moments when you were young?
No. CCD. Grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
CCD.
Yep.
Did that whole thing.
Yep.
Didn't learn a thing from that.
Got it.
Went to mass on I think it was Sundays, but then all I remember is the getting up and down, and I'm trying to sleep over here. I'm trying. Right? How horrible is that right now to think? Right?
Like, we got to get up again.
Again.
Are you serious?
And what am I supposed to? I'm gonna follow. Just have to read out of this thing.
Yeah.
They're like,
that's hilarious.
So that was my spiritual thing.
Got it.
Then once on that 14-year-old team that I played on, we're playing Sundays, and my parents like, all right, we're just focusing on baseball. So there was nothing.
Got it.
Nothing.
So this is kind of your first real interaction with God, or interaction with a real Christian.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
All these years.
Unbelievable. So that was what, 1993. Now it's 2004, 4-ish is when I met him. 2003 is when I met him.
Got it.
So this 10 years.
Wow.
Till the next time I'm doing anything with the Lord.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's so you're dropping bats off at mass.
Yeah, exactly.
The good luck.
This is good luck.
Yeah.
This is good luck thing.
But he was consistent. He kept inviting.
Exactly.
And loving you right where you're at. And so did you play with him for quite a while then?
So I played with him through I think it was 2004, 5, 6, and maybe 7.
Got it.
So I had 3 years, 4 years with him.
So you're on the Rangers now?
No, I'm on the Royals. We played the Texas Rangers first game.
I see. Got it. Yeah.
All right. So that first game, so I didn't start, and I think we were either winning or losing by a lot, and they took Carlos out, and they're like, Dave, go play left field. I'm like, oh gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Sick. So I go out there, nothing hit to me.
Yeah.
I called my parents after the game. Everything went well. I called my friends the next day. I was like, yo, I played, check the box score. They forgot to put me into the box score.
Of course.
I was like, don't. I promise, guys, I did play. I really did.
Yeah.
I really did.
What was that like running out on the field in front of all the fans and the whole thing going on?
Surreal.
Yeah.
Surreal, because like now this is real. This is the real deal big leagues. This is not just the AAA of this team. This is the team.
Right.
The highest level. There's only 750 players in the big leagues every year.
You were playing the Rangers?
We're playing the Texas Rangers. This is A-Rod. This is Michael Young.
A-Rod was there.
A-Rod, Michael Young.
Crazy.
This is all these dudes. They're good at this.
So is that a trip? Like you're standing on the field just looking, you're like, there they are.
There they are. These are the guys.
Who were your heroes growing up? Who were the guys you really watched after? You wanted that swing, you wanted that throw.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Yankees.
Yeah.
I love Don Mattingly. He's a lefty guy.
Yeah.
But my favorite team growing up was the Cleveland Indians.
Okay.
Kenny Lofton was a center fielder, my favorite guy running, because I think around 83 is when Sports Center just came out or something like that, maybe 84, 85.
Yeah.
So I started watching, and I'm like, this dude is always robbing home runs, stealing bases. I like his game. He's lefty, the leadoff hitter. setting the table, and the Indians are good at that time. That's when they're going to the World Series a lot. So I was like, I like his game. I'm going to be an Indians fan now. And they ended up losing. I don't even think they won the World Series. I think they lost to the Braves, and they lost to the Marlins.
Wow.
So the weirdest thing, I'm a Bills fan as well. So we've lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. I've lost two World Series. My team's never won.
Right.
None of my teams has ever won anything yet. But yeah, so like the Indians were a great team. But I just, the Yankees are always good.
Any of the guys that you were growing up watching that you remember, like they were going to be on the other team or whatever, and you knew like,
oh, for sure, Jeter. Jeter is the guy at that point.
Like
in New York, he runs it all.
Yeah.
And 2000, I didn't play against the Yankees in 2003. 2004 though. I remember the first time going to Yankee Stadium, and the crazy thing is the first game I went to as a kid was Yankees Royals. I'm sitting in the stands watching.
Are you serious?
This is the craziest thing about it.
First game you ever went to?
Yankees Royals.
Unreal.
Oh, the Lord's like, oh, I got you.
That's a really weird detail.
It's a weird thing to think
It's a God
about.
thing for sure.
Because like those are cheaper tickets.
Right.
For my dad, we don't have a lot of money.
Right,
so
right.
those are like, easier tickets to get.
Wow.
So now I remember they have the clubhouse and then this long little corridor to get to the dugout. And I remember walking that, and I'm like, yo, how many studs have done this walk? And it's like, it was like, I had to like keep my mind straight because I was like just thinking about just the legends that have walked this thing. I get to that front step and I see that grass and see the outdoor center field area where I used to sit, and I was like, this is that mecca of everything. I think this and the Red Sox were the 2 meccas for me back in the day. So I'm just watching this, and actually, I'm going out there, running on the grass. I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
And then you want to take a sample and like, just, like keep it in your pocket at home, like I'm bottling this.
I want this moment to never end, right?
Wow.
So then we start the game, and Jeter, I get to second base one time, and Jeter's just one of those, hey man, congratulations, keep going, you're gonna be up here for a while. Wow. Just words like that. But it was like Robinson Cano, Jason Giambi, Paul O'Neill, like Bernie Williams, like all these names. And everyone was cool other than A-Rod. A-Rod was the one that did not say what's up. He was the one that just looked forward the whole time. I was like, bro, there's only 750 of us.
Right.
I don't care you make 30 million.
Sure.
I'm on the same level.
All right.
We're all ball players.
Yeah,
you don't have to give me any of that.
Yeah.
So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Other than that, in the workout thing, he was like, oh, he talked to me. So it was all good. There's no hate and all, but it was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I know you're locked in, but like basically you don't have to be locked in every second. Every second doesn't.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that was surreal. That was the surreal moment.
Yeah, you're the boy. You're the 5-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 14-year-old boy like who dreamed about these days. Like, you're telling your friends, I'm gonna do this one day. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna And it's like all of a sudden you're walking down the tunnel and it's like, oh my gosh, dude, this is happening right now. That's a trip, man. Even for me to have dreams and then to see them come true is like, it is surreal. Is the right word?
It really was.
It's out of body. It's almost like it's euphoria on another level. You've stepped into the big leagues and you are getting to know the business. You're getting to know personalities, the flow of seasons, and you're having good games and bad games. And what's happening? What's happening the first few years?
So let me give you after 2003, 2004, before that, this was my story. So in 2004 season, I didn't make it out of spring training. I was in AAA for probably a month. The Royals at that point are already out of the playoff race. We were bad. Like every other team, but the Tigers are good, the White Sox are good, the Twins are good at this point. So we're not in anywhere shape of being anywhere good. So they bring me up. And I was like, all right, cool, man. I go 1 for 23 to start my career. I only got in that 2003 September call up. I only got 3 at bats.
Got it.
So I got a hit, My first hit was against Bartolo Colon, a triple. That was pretty sick.
Nice.
But that was it. So the next year, this is my first substantial time up there. I go 1 for 23. Every time I walk up, guys, if you go to a ball game and you see that big scoreboard,
right?
Those numbers are huge. Baseball numbers are huge.
Right.
And it's seeing 0.43
right.
and going down. You're like, oh my gosh.
Right.
I do not want those numbers being up there. Right. So I was struggling.
So that's real.
I was struggling.
You're stepping up to the plate. You see those numbers. You're just
real.
like it affects the guy on the plate
for sure.
Yeah,
and that the crowd is, you stink. You're a blah blah blah. This is who you are.
Wow.
So I was hurting every day. I was pulling up to the park. I'd go look at they have the lineup right when you walk in against the door. I was like, dang it, I'm in the lineup. That's how beaten I was. So at the point, they sent me down to AAA, and I was hitting 330 in AAA.
Got it. You felt comfortable there?
I was good.
Yeah.
Just playing.
Yeah.
Playing. I get down to 250
in
AAA. Struggling. I couldn't get out of my head.
Got it.
I had to go back to like my high school swing.
Yeah.
All right, let me go back to basics. All right, started getting better, gaining my confidence. This game is about baseball, a lot of sports, a lot of everything is about confidence.
Right.
You believe you can do it, you have a shot. If you don't believe you can do it, if you're walking in with doubt,
got it.
Things are going to go bad really quickly.
Got it.
So I'm working my way, get back to 300, and we are playing the New Orleans Zephyrs. It's a AAA team for the Houston Astros.
Okay. We
get a rain delay. So everyone in the rain delay, you're in the locker room, there's a big TV, and everyone's just around watching whatever game's on.
Right.
ESPN's on, and alert, big trade. At that point, the manager is calling me into the office. Hey, Dave, you're coming in here. Yo, you just got traded. Carlos Beltran just got traded to the Houston Astros. You're a piece of that trade. Now you're going to be the starting center fielder every day.
What?
And a catcher from the team that we're playing against there from the AAA is coming over to the Royals.
Wow.
And a couple pieces from the Oakland A's. So it was like a 3-team trade. So that's like a real moment. Thankfully, I've built myself. I'm back up to 300. I feel like I can do it now. So I go.
So this trade.
This is the trade.
Is the door in?
This is the door back.
Yes.
Thankfully,
yeah.
I have another opportunity. Some guys don't get this opportunity.
So does this happen a lot for guys? As they first step into the league, they something goes wrong, and then they go back on AAA, and then they're back in. They kind of bounce back and forth.
Because you have to kind of get the feel of it.
Got it.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And it's. In AAA, you're facing a couple good pitchers, but then some 4 or 5 guys. There, you're playing. Every guy is a really good pitcher.
Right.
So
best of the best.
Best of the best.
Yeah.
So the next day, I wake up. I go to the airport. The catcher from the other team, his name was John Buck. Mm-hmm. He's like, yo, let's do this together. We become best friends. We're still best friends to this day.
Wow. Shout out to John.
Johnny, bro. Oh. He's like, so we just sat on the, he was the starting catcher and I was the starting center fielder. So the first day back, get a couple hits. I ended up hitting 307 for the rest of the time. So the next 4 months.
Wow.
And I ended up being the Royals Major League Player of the Year.
What?
Like the roller coaster ride that was getting called up, then going to get back up and do that. So that started my career. I never played in the minor leagues ever after that.
Wow.
But I needed that to kind of believe in myself.
Yeah.
Believe in who I am.
Yeah.
And my story down the road, my faith journey, probably took a little pieces of that struggle, as we'll talk later. Mm-hmm. But now this was my job. Now I had the everyday center fielder job, and it's crazy. 2 years. So that season, next season, by the end of next season, I signed a 5-year deal with the option for 6.
Wow, with the Royals.
For a bunch of money.
Wow, with the Royals.
With the Royals.
So rewind. Do you feel like that? I don't know if you even want to call it a failure, but it's like the mental distress and like that. kind of having to go into that valley is what actually made you, you know, reassess and prepare for the future again. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting how these dark moments end up being the light.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so weird how that works out, because it's like you kind of wish the story didn't have any of that, but it's like the story is for some reason so much better because of it.
Exactly.
And it's like the moment where the alert comes on the screen and the trade's happening, and then this magical thing happens, like you're the guy, and you're like, what? And then you're 307 that, you know, for the rest of the year. It's just like, you know what I mean? It can't get any better.
Can't be any better.
And player of the year.
Player of the year.
Unreal.
Got all this accolades. You know, I was a New Jersey player of the year, but I needed that. I needed to go to a place where I struggled and kind of make hitting my own as well. Like I had to like find a new plan that was mine. And I was able to work with coaches that were willing to help me out as well. So it wasn't just by myself, it was a team. But it's like, all right, once you step into that box, you got to just compete. Can't worry about what your average is, what you're doing. All right, you just got to compete that at bat and then move on to the next thing. But also like baseball is more than just hitting. It's fielding. You can't like take your hitting into the field. Right. You can't take that to the base running. So there's so many ways you can implement yourself into the game other than just hitting and your stats. So
right, just because you had a great at bat doesn't mean you're going to make all the catches.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean you're going to
exactly. There's more to it.
So you get to sign a 5-year deal with an option for 6. And the cash shows up for the first time. And you're like, this is insane, dude. Like it happened. I mean, you've been dreaming about this too your whole life.
I've never had money growing up.
I
was like, sad to say, but I was one of those people that would like take $1 off the table of like a diner. Because I had no money.
Right.
And now I'm I'm signing my name into a lot of this now.
Right.
So it's like, wow, okay, how do I steward it the right way too? It's like, all right, I need to bring some smart people around me that.
Were you already thinking that through before it even showed up? Or was you just, what happens? What happens in there? Because you kind of see, I don't know, I'm just looking from the outside, but you see, players get money at a young age and they're just like, I want to blow a bunch of cash, but then also because they never got to do that. So it's like the first time, your parents told you could never buy candy. You finally get your own money. You're like, I'm buying everything. I'm buying the whole shop, I'm buying whatever I want. And I want that one. I don't care if I get, anyways.
No doubt.
But then also, you do see a lot of guys burn up everything, they mess up everything. They don't have good people around them to help them manage. So what happens to players? Like, what is that moment?
Yeah, it's a surreal moment. You're signing and you have this contract set up to where, all right, this, you're getting this, you're getting this. My dad was like, save. So that was in the back of my head.
That's good.
All right. So I think I was responsible with it. I would say I was responsible with it. Yes, I was I went and got a car, got these things, but I put myself in mutual funds. Things are going to long-term money. I don't want to be the guy that's going to be done and have nothing.
Totally.
So I understood the importance of that.
That's awesome.
That's definitely from my dad.
Were there other players around you too that like you guys talk about this stuff, or just like how do you?
Barely.
Okay, really?
There was a few guys you would.
Wow.
But that time is still, I don't want you to be with my guy, right? Like, I don't get that. But it was just finding someone. And my dad helped me out through that. We found someone. That's awesome. And you have agents there to help you out as well.
Got it. To help navigate the whole thing. Make sure you're not getting worked over.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard to trust people because you hear all these stories about, all right, putting money into this thing and this thing goes broke. FTX or something like that, right? That's most recently that come out. All these stars, and then it goes broke, and then you're like, what?
Totally.
So I didn't want to do that. I was like, all right, let's stay in the market. It seemed like the market is a good place to be. Right. So that's where I kind of stood.
So you signed the 5-year deal. Now you used a term that I don't know, like from the outside in, I don't think of it as that, but I think you said something like I have the center field job, or like it is like this is my my occupation, like this is my, it's time to go do work, like
Yeah.
Because, we look at it as entertainment, and like, but this is also like, it's time to go to work.
Exactly.
Like my job is center field.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get after it. You've now been hired to be that guy.
Exactly.
And so, you get to be this guy, and you're week in and week out. How many games a year?
162 games in 180 days. That's not including the third month and a half spring training.
18 days off.
18 days off. So it's 3 days a month, right?
Unreal, man.
And that's travel days. That could be like, hey, you get rained. You have to go to the park, and you get rained out. So they have to do a double header a day. So it's
wow.
That's another story. I don't know if there should be that many,
right?
But the owners want to make their money,
right.
So that now you're starting to understand the business side of everything. All right.
What does that feel like? I mean, I noticed that you have a really good ability to remember specific moments of the plays and exactly what happened, and the ball went here, and then I ran a second, and then this guy, and here's his name, and he did this. Like it's interesting to watch you diagram a play. And I see some players, I think, just have the ability to do this. For some reason, their brain just remembers like the exact details of all that happened. They can like go back to it.
Yeah.
But you're also doing 162 games a year.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of. Is this mundane repetition? Or does it become a blur after a while, or is it? Yeah. But what is that? Like, you put on your cleats, you put on your jersey. You get ready. You're going out, you get warmed up. It's time to start the game. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job.
That's it. I saw it as a job. I saw it that, hey, when this game is going on, I'm going to prepare myself. I'm going to, yes, there's times where you're looking in the stands, you're relaxing, but in between pitches, you always have to have the next situation to happen. Hey, if man on second base, a ball hits me in the gap, what do I do with that? So you have to like prepare yourself, then let go for a second, then you're back at it. So it's grinding. It's grinding. It's the stretch between August. It's probably the month of August, because then September is playoff push.
Okay.
Is the toughest time. They say like it's like the summer, the dragging on of the summer, something like that. So it's just like those games it's hot out. You're just like, oh, let's get to September. It's the weather starts cooling off, and we'll start playing more meaningful games. So it's just one of those things that you just got to do it. This is part of your job. And then once the season ended, I took off 2 or 3 weeks. Then it's getting ready for the next season.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a job.
Right.
I felt it as a job.
Yeah, you're giving your whole life to this thing for that time.
And they're drafting because they're drafting 50 new guys that summer.
Want your job.
Take your job for less money.
Wow.
I got to be able to hold them off. I got to prepare myself to hold them off.
Wow.
So I had to do that for 13 seasons.
Wow. So what is the what's the brotherhood like in there? What is the friendships, I don't want to say enemies, but like the disconnects between, you know what I mean? Like what, because we always see is what's on TV, and it's like the guys are just, they're hitting the ball around, they're catching, and we're cheering, we're eating popcorn and hot dogs, and but it's like, this is there's real competition. These are grown men who are highly competitive, and they're not just regular dudes, so it's like, that they are regular dudes.
Exactly.
It is high school to some degree, but it's not,
Another level.
Yeah, it's professional high school.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. That's a great way to put it. With more money involved.
Yeah.
Right? The thing is, like, we see each other, the ball players, way more than we see their family during the season.
Wow.
So, like, all right, there was a 7 o'clock game. I would get to the field around like 12:30, 1 o'clock. Start doing my preparations, 4 o'clock batting practice, game 7. After the game, go on the cold plunge, get whatever therapy done. I'm leaving at 11. So from 11 till 12:30, 11:30 p.m. till 12:30 p.m. the next day.
Wow.
So you got to get sleep involved in there.
Wow.
That's the only time you get to be with family. Wow. So these guys, you're around all the time. you hang with your dudes that you like. Sure. Thankfully, I was a guy that was like, I spoke a little Spanish, so I can be like with the Latins. And with, I try to be a barrier of both guys, you know. So, but it was fun, man. It was fun. It's the camaraderie. The thing you miss when you're done with sports is the camaraderie. The locker rooms. The fun that we had after games and stuff like that. You don't miss the grind. It's a lot. It's a lot on your body. It's a lot on your mental to get out 7 out of 10, fail 7 out of 10 times. That's not easy to deal with. But all the other stuff that came along with it, the bus trips, the plane. No, we don't bus trip. I mean the plane trips. The plane. You're getting good food on the plane. We're spoiled. We're spoiled.
The plane's a pretty sweet setup.
Everyone gets their own row.
Wow.
So you get like 3 seats. You lay down, sleep, watch movies.
Nice.
They have meals on there. You get a little menu. What do you want?
Really?
Want some Grey Poupon?
Really? Pretty good food.
Steaks.
Yeah. Wow.
Burgers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's gotten better. Back in the day, like we were talking about before, in AAA, AA, it's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You get a banana, maybe a protein shake.
Wow.
But then when you get to big leagues, it's a remarkable step up. They take care of you, and now even more. And in the big leagues, I was still having peanut butter and jelly sandwich because was that a thing that a luck thing? I don't know, because I was a guy that used to be. All right, put my sock. All right, I had a good game. I'm gonna put my left sock on again.
Wow.
I had a good game. If I had a Subway before the game, I'm gonna eat that Subway again.
Wow. Right.
Thinking that Subway or that left sock on.
It's a mental thing, though.
It was unbelievable.
It's like it's like it's connected to that emotion, that feeling, whatever.
Yeah.
You guys are doing birthdays together. You guys are you're running together. I mean, this is becoming your family.
These are dudes.
Yeah,
your dudes. So I had John Buck was one of my good friends. Mike Wood was a pitcher, one of my good friends. So I had a few, but it's hard because at any time this your good friend could get traded. It's that fickle. This game you could be here one year, the next year you're out.
True.
So it's like, do you want to put that much into that relationship?
I see.
So that was hard. That was harder as I got older.
Wow.
Because now at that point, you could be year to year with a team.
Right.
You can the trade deadline always come around. You're like, you could be a piece that another team wants that you can leave. I see. So that was the hardest thing about it.
Yeah, you're a bit more touch and go with the guys. And so so again, you're getting into the rhythm, 162 games a year. You got the 5-6 year contract with the Royals.
Royals, yeah.
And did they renew the contract, or did you get traded to another team?
So after my 5th year, it was 2010. I just had surgery. We were playing the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, old Yankee Stadium. Derek Jeter hits one in center field. I'm running back. I catch the ball, but where the pad meets the glass, my side of my thumb gets torn, and I tear my ligament in my thumb. So it's Tommy John. I had Tommy John of my elbow. This is Tommy John of my thumb.
Oh my!
So
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy that happens. But after that season, the Royals picked up my option, but then traded me to the Oakland A's. And that's where, so at this point, faith is starting to come into play. Faith is,
what year is this?
This is like 2010.
Okay.
2010 faith. I'm starting to I'm going to like chapels here and there. I'm hearing some word. And I'm like, okay, this is something, I like this. This is when I opened up John for the first time. And I was like, dude, the word became word, and what is this? Like, I didn't have the spirit yet to kind of understand what he's saying yet. But I'm like, what? This sounds so different.
Where'd you get your Bible?
This is it was probably from Mike or somewhere from
the Mass or something?
Yeah, from like that. It was given to me by somebody.
Yeah.
So, but it was like, what is this? What is this writing?
What pulled you in? I mean, is it the wearing of sports? Is it life? Like, what started to wake you up, and all of a sudden you're like, man, you know what? Maybe I need to start thinking about this a bit more. I mean, you're obviously you're growing in age as well.
For sure.
So it's like the honeymoon stage of the of the sports and pro and all that stuff, you know, the stakes and
Exactly.
There's
only so many you can have, right?
Yeah, right. And so you're starting to, you know, life's starting to happen.
Yeah. So this is probably 2008, 2009. I'm on my third car already. All right. Women going out.
Sure.
This is like,
Right.
it's like not fulfilling. It's like this empty feeling all the time. It's like, oh, I'm getting this, I'm pouring this in. This is supposed to be filling me up, and it's not. So I was at a crossroads. I'm like, wait, why can't I get fulfilled? The world's telling me this is what I should be shooting for.
Wow.
This is all you need.
Wow.
And I'm waking up every day like, yo, what is going on? Is something wrong with me? Because I have everything. I have a house. I have all this stuff.
Right.
All this stuff, but I don't have really anything, really. So that's what I wanted to hear about this faith thing. What is this? Just be open to it. Not going fully in, but I just want to start hearing about it. And who is this Jesus person? So that was the start of me opening up. And then around 2010 I was starting to get into it more. And then I get traded to Oakland. And it's funny because the only two teams I did not want to get traded to were the Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays.
No.
Only two, Lord.
Yeah.
Right? I get these like, oh,
Please.
you're going to tell me? Oh, you're going to tell Oh, you're going to tell me.
Wow.
Because it's like the Oakland A's stadium. No one goes to those games. I loved playing when people were there.
Yeah.
Like anybody.
Sure.
So no one would go to those games, and then no one would go to those Tampa games as well.
Got it.
It's empty crowd, no atmosphere. So I was like, next thing you know, I get traded to Oakland A's. I'm a free agent the next year. So this is my last year. So who knows?
Okay.
I start the season through All-Star break. I'm hitting 200. Okay. So many, I just had a son at that time and so many blessings, but I couldn't see them all because I was wrapped up in what I found out was who I was identified as. I was identified as my batting average on the board.
So according to the team or according to baseball, like what's the litmus test? Like what's the sweet spot of batting average? What's stellar? You know, what's low? Like
300. Like at that time, me growing up, that's like you want to be close to 300.
Yeah.
I would up until that point from 2000. From my whole time with the Royals, I was a 290 hitter.
Got it.
300, that's where you want to be. So I'm like, dude, I'm sick. This is sick. Everything's going great.
Yeah.
I'm hitting 200.
Got it.
Like more than halfway through the season.
Right.
And I am tripping. I'm walking with my son. I remember times, and he's on a stroller. I'm pushing him, and I'm like head down because I feel like my batting average is written across my forehead. That was my identity. I had an identity problem. And it was just so sad. It was bringing me down. It brought me. So when I went to the A's, I was the first game we played the Yankees. I was the third hitter, and they were playing the Yankees, and A-Rod's their third hitter. I'm like, this is hilarious. Like that's their guy. I'm their guy.
Wow.
So I struggled. So now I was only playing against right-handed pitchers.
Wow.
I struggled so much against left-handed pitchers. So I was bringing this atmosphere about me of woe to me every day to the field, just complaining, just a complaining heart. And, you know, I was getting into the word. I was going to Tuesday Bible study. I was going into Sunday chapel before the games. It's like, so our chapels before the games, is like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
You know, the chapel leader of the team would be like, hey, this is going to be at this time, be there or not be there. Some pitchers are out working. They can't be there.
Sure.
But I try to make it Sunday. Let me get there at least. So I'm just hurting. I'm really hurting. And one day on this plane, and this is crazy that it took till now I'm 30 years old.
Got it.
I'm 30 years old.
Yeah.
We're on the plane, and his name is Casey Chavez.
Okay.
And he was Eric Chavez's. Eric Chavez was the popular third baseman for the A's.
Okay.
He was the bullpen catcher.
Okay.
Just that's all he did. Get in the bullpen, just catch pitchers when they're ready to warm up to get into the game. He's the one that's kind of talking to me, leading me as well. And he's like walking by me one day, and he's like, "Dave, do you even know your last name?" And I was like, "What?" Walking by, and I'm like, "Whoa, what is that?" Whoa, that was the first time I really like, yo,
wow, your
last name means something. And from that point on, I sat next to him, just trying to get word from him because he's a Christian, like I'm trying to get wisdom in any way. I'm still learning about Jesus. I'm still very, very works based. So my Christianity was, stop listening to bad music.
Sure.
It was all stop. Don't do this.
Right.
Not understanding, do this because you are. Right. So everything is so legalistic.
Right.
And he's like, dude, I was like that, like the grace. He's just trying to show me the grace of God.
Wow.
Really. He's just trying to paint that picture for me.
Wow.
And so I started sitting next to him, starting getting some word. I'm starting to grow. I'm starting to know who this Jesus is. That Jesus came here to love you. He loves you. He loves you. You don't have to work for it, because I had to work for love for my dad. I had to work for love for this.
Wow.
I had to be this people pleaser for these people.
Right.
So I didn't have to do that with him. So I remember it came to a point we're playing against we fly. But no, all right, whatever game is, I go over. That means no hits that day. We fly into Toronto, and I go up to the room. I lay on the bed, just my face down. I'm like, Lord, you said that you will take this yoke off of me. Lord, I can't do this myself anymore. My identity is wrapped up in who I am. I need your identity on me. And I'm giving it to you. That was the first time I professed that.
Wow.
Even not out loud, but like to him.
Yes.
He's here. He's right next to me, and I'm telling him that.
Yeah.
And, you're like, all right. You still don't know how it's going to be. Like,
Sure.
is this going to be like, boom, okay, everything's good?
Right.
It struggled, but
Sure.
The one thing that I got from the Holy Spirit kind of just talked to me through was start loving on the other people that are there on the team. Like, you're in the big leagues for 8-9 years already. There's guys that are first-year dudes that are just struggling just to even stay up there. Go, just say what's up to them. Go talk to them. Take them out.
Wow.
Get to eat. So that was the thing. That was my mission from then on.
That's what you felt God gave you. Gave you that vision.
That was the vision.
So David, do you even know your last name?
Yeah, right.
DeJesus.
DeJesus.
Is this of Jesus?
Of or from.
Of or from Jesus.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, I don't actually, and but I want to know, and so you pursue him, for wisdom, and he starts dropping grace bombs on you.
Grace bombs.
And you surrender in Toronto.
Amen.
And you just say, anyone who calls upon the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Amen.
And it really is as simple as that. The man who beat his chest, Jesus spoke about, who's standing there, he prays a simple prayer. He says, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. He's just like, I need you. You got to show up. You got to save me. And it really is simple as that. I think that a lot of times we think there is a progression of religious things that we have to do in order to attain salvation. And really, God says very clearly, if you seek me, you will find me. If you seek me with all your heart. And that is the difference, right? Because in that moment, you're basically at the end of yourself, and you're just like, you know what? I need you. You got to show up. Like, please show up and help me. And it is interesting. It's not like fireworks go off inside, but you did say, like, lift the yoke. That's a powerful word too, because it's like, carry this burden. Like, I can't do this. And it's interesting how the vision that you're now given is to go and love these brothers. And in doing so, you're actually loving God.
Amen.
Like how do we know that you love God? By the way you love people around you, you know, by your love for other people. You know, this is how we know. And so it's like the act of obedience is to take steps of godliness and loving the brothers around you on a professional team, and God starts doing a work in you.
Because the locker room's a dark place. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
The music, what people are watching.
Yeah.
It's not the cleanest thing.
Got it.
So it's just to be that light, and that is almost taking a risk in itself. It's like, all right, well, this is the old you. What happened? What's going on? Are your friends looking at you different now? But it didn't matter because I wanted to be myself. I'm gonna still love on these dudes. It's just gonna be different. I'm not gonna be going to the parties. I'm not gonna be doing that. But so it's still battling that because these rules and this law-based stuff is still I'm still have to grapple with, and I think to this day that I still grapple with. Sure, right? Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I this? Am I this? Right. It's just knowing that the thing that helps me is just knowing that I'm in the family. I am a saint. I am a brother. I am loved.
Yes,
and nothing's going to take, like you said, nothing is going to take that away. Nothing can take that away. Yes. So it's just live in that.
Yes.
Live in that joyfully.
Yes.
So, yeah, bro, it was just, and so as the season went on,
that was a divining moment for you. That's where you see.
That's where I see.
Yeah.
And I saw it in myself of now, hey, I'm going to take these young guys out. Let's go eat. Let's go talk. It was like, let's be a different person in that clubhouse. Let's light that thing up. So, and then next, you know, the Lord starts blessing me. I play better, do well, end the season well.
Of course.
Right? like I'm like,
isn't that amazing?
I was a totally different player the last month of the season.
Wow.
Totally different.
Praise God.
Yeah.
So you're with the A's.
With the A's.
And this is where it happens.
So that's it.
And Lord, there's an empty stadium. I'm not going over there.
Exactly.
But the Lord was like, no, I'm bringing you over there for different reasons.
Exactly.
Crazy, man.
Really.
Crazy.
Really.
Like, he brought you there to be saved.
It's unbelievable.
And that was his mission. That was his goal. And he sent that catcher to minister and to pour into you. And he sent Mike Sweeney a long time ago saying, I'm going to love you no matter what. And now you're trying to do this for these brothers.
Exactly.
Crazy, man.
Right?
I love the connections.
What a story.
Yeah, yeah.
What a story.
So after the A's, I
go to Chicago.
Okay.
I was a free agent. I was tripping. I'm like, man, I had my worst year.
Yeah.
Next year, you'll get blessed with a 2-year deal in Chicago. And now I am the guy that setting up the times for chapels.
Really?
I'm that guy now.
Wow.
Like, now it's like, come out, your walk-up music is so important. And it's too bad in Chicago we weren't allowed to have walk-up music because the Oregon guy wanted to play. I was like, come on.
Shout out to Oregon guy, but come on, man.
I wanted to play my song. All right.
Yeah.
So later on it took me, but so now I'm the guy that's leading it, and I'm trying to be a guy that's just bringing people in as well. So those 2 years went well, unbelievable time. And so I was there for only a year and 3/4 because at the trade deadline in so I was there my first year in 2011 with the Cubs. No, 2012, half of 2013. I get traded to the Washington Nationals. So that's a good story. Sunday, family day, you know, just have, you know, kids on the thing, bouncing around, whatever. Monday, I get a call. Theo Epstein. He is the president of baseball operations with the Cubs. He's the one that brought me there.
Okay.
You know, you pick up the call. I've heard this call too already. Hey, Dave, you know, you've been great, blah, blah, blah. You know, you've done everything what you want to do. But then you hear that but.
Yeah.
That's when you know things are going to go a little awry.
Right.
But we just traded you to the Washington Nationals.
Oh, my God.
The Washington Nationals are coming in to play the Cubs.
Okay.
So all you got to do is grab your stuff and just walk over to the other side.
No.
So I literally parked in my spot with the Cubs, grabbed those brown boxes, and walked straight across the field to the other side.
That is so weird.
It was the trippiest thing I've ever.
So wait a minute. Did you play them first and then walk across
No.
to leave with them? Or when they showed up, you're like, I'm playing for the team.
I am you guys. I'm with you guys now. It was the trippiest thing. I was like, in my heart, I was still rooting for
these
the
your
Cubs.
friends. Yeah, no, you're like,
I'm like, don't put me in. Don't
like
put me in.
the pitcher, like, this is practice right now. Like, I'm sorry. Wow.
Yeah. But it was crazy. It was like my first at bat on the other team. I get up there, I'm doing my routine, and the catcher, he was a good friend of mine, he like stepped away, and like the crowd like gave a thank you. And I was only there for a year and 3/4. And they appreciated the person I was, how I played the game. This guy going to work hard and give my best and see what's from there. So I'm so thankful that Chicago fans treated me so well.
Yeah.
And it was so nice. They did such a good job. So I played those 4 games. All right, 4 games. Next thing you know, the team is going to play Kansas City. So now so I get on the flight to go to Kansas City. But at this, my agent was like, hey, keep your bags packed. You're not going to be with the Nationals for long. I was like, all right, cool. Because like, all right, they had Bryce Harper. They had Denard Span, and they had Jason Worth. These were studs in the outfield. I'm like, there's no playing time for me with that team. He was like, don't worry, just keep it. Keep your stuff. Bring your stuff with you to Kansas City. So I brought all my luggage, and I wake up Friday. We fly into Kansas City, have a good night out in Kansas City, get some good meal with the Nationals players.
Okay.
Wake up, my agent calls me. Hey, you just got traded now to the Tampa Bay Rays.
What?
Yo. So now
How fast is it? I mean, this is so fast.
This is fast. In 3 days, he's like, 4 days, he's like, all right, we're sending you a plane. You're just going to be on that plane by yourself. Get down here. You're batting leadoff against the New York Yankees tonight. And they're in like a playoff race.
Oh my.
So I'm like, what?
You're all of a sudden in it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Wow.
So I get down there, get everything, go to batting practice. Oh, no, I get there, and I go around and introduce myself to the guys. I think that's important.
Yeah.
I want to shake every one of their hands. Hey, man, I'm here. Let's go. Shake all the guys' hands. And then I go see Joe Madden. He's the coach of the team. Hey, how you doing? Joe Madden is the best. He was just a character in every aspect, but knew how to deal with people. So he's like, all right, I got 2 rules for you. All right, run the ball out and play sexy. I'm like, what the heck does play sexy mean? I don't, because every other team, we weren't good, so we always said work. He's like, I want you to play sexy. If you have to, because their shortstop would make a play and would jump and like do a basketball shot. Like they were just be free, be yourself.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, sounds great. So I'm walking through the clubhouse and I see someone sitting at the table with a Bible open.
Wow.
Never have I ever.
Wow.
I was like, what
This is like year 9, year 10?
This is 2013. This is 10 years in.
Wow.
I'm like, what is this? I'm like, hey, what's up? His name is Ben Zobrist. Quality Christian. Love this brother. He's like, yo, you're always invited. Come over here and we'll chat, whatever. So that was, me, him, and a young kid, Will Myers. Before every game, say if the game's at 7, at 6 o'clock, we'd go and we'd get this book called Understanding the Basics of Christianity. And we just walk through it. He's like, his dad is a preacher. So he's like just been around the word a lot. So like I was like, let's get around people that are going to feed.
Wow.
He needed that young. I'm still young in my faith too.
Wow.
So I'm like, he just walked us through this.
Amazing.
And
Discipleship.
Discipling.
Wow.
Not even know, maybe, I don't even know if he knows. He knows probably, but like, it's just us talking, going through these questions. It was unbelievable. I was so thankful.
This is building your heart. This is building your mind. This is giving you strength.
This was the real deal. This is the meat and potatoes. So usually people say it. This is like, we're getting into it. What this means.
Wow.
So I think the second biggest thing in my faith journey was after that season, our chaplain did a trip to the Dominican Republic. And I was like, I'm in for sure. Let's go. We go down to Dominican and we're doing baseball lessons, but then at the end we kind of like give our little testimonies. This is the first time I've never done a testimony.
Wow.
Like, what do I talk about? Like,
Right.
and especially I'm speaking, I'm like, okay, I'm going to speak English and hey, translator, make it sound right.
Right.
Like, oh, you're good at doing you're good at.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I'm good at.
Yeah.
So we're doing that. We're enjoying it. That was the first time speaking my testimony out. I'm thankful for that. It just got it out. Got it out. And then one Sunday we went to this. It was like a shack in San Pedro. San Pedro is a very poor area. Kids are running around in underwear. Just not a lot good going on there.
Yeah.
And we go into this house. They have to get the big speaker, put it down, plug the mic in. They start speaking. I don't know. This is it's in Spanish. Everything's in Spanish. So I'm just listening, and I start looking around and watch the people, and they are calling out to their God. They are just in need. And this to me was the relationship part that I was missing. Relationship with Jesus. Yes, I was very religious. I was doing all the things, but having a relationship with Jesus, knowing that he's someone that I can go up to and talk to and bring everything to. I was seeing it, and I was like, wow, my heart was like, I think that was the spirit inside of me. It was like, yo, this is how I want you.
Yeah.
This is the way I want you to come to me.
Yeah.
Maybe not screaming, but just bring it to me.
Yeah.
And that was the moment that changed my faith even more. It was like, all right, it's not about if I've done this thing. It's about understanding what Jesus has done, so then I can live in that, and I want to be a partner with him. Not just doing this because I have to. Right. So it's being a partnership, being a brotherhood.
Yes.
So
father-son relationship.
Yeah.
It's really, it's real relationship.
Exactly.
It's real life. For some reason we disconnect. Yeah, we leave God in religion category and rules and do's and don'ts and all of that. And for some reason, even though he's built all relationships on the planet, like he is the maker of relationships. He is the maker of society. He's the maker of the family. He's the maker of marriage. He's the maker of father-son, father-daughter, mother, son and daughter. He is husband-wife. He is the one who has crafted all of this, yet we push that so far away, and we like to, like you said, sit in kind of like rules and regulations and laws and do's and don'ts of life. It's just basically we're almost more engaged with the moral law than we are with our Creator, our God, our Father. And so you saw this in real time with these people. Like they're in desperate need. They're crying out to their God for help. And I can see real emotion, real connection with their God, and that turned the lights on.
That was it.
Yeah,
that was it. It was just the faces and the real. They're calling out to their Father. Their Father. So it was just one of those moments that, all right, I need to check myself here. All right, I might need to clean some things up and get into what is a relationship with Jesus? Like, what does that look like? What does that look like? Even more than maybe just reading. Am I reading the Bible just to read it some days, just to check a checklist off sometimes, because that's a routine is in me. I need to check all these things that are just so basic to me. That could they be harming me? So it was that start of like really checking things.
Yeah, it's like reading through a book of the Bible or something. You're like, I did it. And
what'd you get?
Yeah. What did that do for me? Did that actually, it was the purpose to finish reading through it, or was the purpose to retain and to grow in my relationship with God through it? And that's a struggle for all people. It's a struggle it's a struggle for pastors. It's a struggle for all people, because we love We love checking boxes, man. We like that. We like that feeling of I did the law, I didn't break it, I did the right thing. You know, I didn't do the wrong thing. But we can miss the spirit of the whole thing, the whole purpose behind it. And so amazing. So God's breaking this open in you.
For sure.
You're still playing pro ball.
For sure.
You guys did the trip to Dominican. You come back a new person.
Yeah, for sure.
Different person.
For sure. So now it's 20. So I'm going into the 2014 season now. So I'm just, but we had a good solid core. 3 or 4 guys are believers, and we were just trying to affect. So now it's like, all right, I'm with the team now. I can put music on. I love music. I love that. Like that's, to me, some songs, like if we go back to I'm with the Oakland A's, Laura Story, Blessings. I'm listening to K-Love at this point.
Yeah.
Because I need some, you can get some spiritual stuff. You can get some word through music.
Right.
So Laura Story Blessings was like, you know, through the troubles, through all the rainstorms, because a lot of that storm after storm, and I'm riding home in the dark, listening to the song, tears are coming out.
Wow.
And these are the mercies in disguise, right? This hardship could be what changes you. So that story hit me. I mean, that song hit me. So also, I was a fan of Casting Crowns.
Yes.
Right? I just went to their concert the other day. It was unbelievable.
Band.
Loved them.
Great
Loved
band.
them. They speak the word through their music, and I love that.
Yes.
So I can sing the song, but I can't remember the name. But there was a song there that I wanted to be my walkout song. I wanted to understand that when whatever thousands of people made, so maybe it's only 20,000 people.
Wow.
They hear something. So I wanted to have that as a statement as well.
You picked a Casting Crown song.
It's a Casting Crown song. Then I did a Chris Tomlin.
Wow.
So I was like, I wanted that to be another part of myself.
That's awesome.
I want people to hear that. They come in, they say, oh, whoa, this is a Christian dude? Okay. Okay. Through the music. I want, because like you hear, like there's some bad music too.
Right.
So I want like at least to hear some good stuff and some things that are worthy. And I wanted the part that they hear to speak a little truth.
That's
as
awesome.
Well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was like something that you don't think of.
Right. No, because you don't think of that because it's like you have this, you kind of don't get to talk to the crowd like you're playing a game, right? But it's like you kind of get this like little, 10-second moment to like speak to 20,000 people. And it kind of is through your song. Yeah. Because whatever song comes up, it brings a certain vibe. It brings a certain feel to the stadium. Yeah. And boom, you're like throwing on some Chris Tomlin in front of everybody. Like, wait, what? Like, like we were expecting some like Nelly or something. You're right. You know, it's like, what just happened? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a part of my ministry as well. It was just getting a song out there that can speak truth to them. Yeah. So, and then we had a faith day, be able to talk and answer questions and talk like this to them. You know, just another thing of just being able to, I want my lips to declare Jesus Christ as my Savior. I want that. I want that. I want to be not unashamed of the gospel. So it's taking those opportunities.
So it sounds like, it's really amazing because you have this conversion moment in Toronto and the Lord's teaching you to love the guys. And then before you know it, like your ministry is like kind of building before you, and you see this not only as your job, you're doing your job, but you have intertwined your job with ministry.
Exactly.
It's become your ministry is your life. It was an extension of who you are. Yeah, I'm a pro baseball player, and I'm doing all this stuff, but you're like, I need to worship the Lord with my gift. I need to figure out how to use whatever He's given me for His glory. It takes people a long time to figure this out. And I love 1 Corinthians 10:31, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all for the glory of God. Yeah. Amen. Like, what do you do? What do you do? I'm a plumber. I'm a teacher. You know, I'm a this, I'm a that. You know, it's like, I'm a pro ball player. How do I do this for God's glory? And it's cool to see the other brothers that you got to get around, and like, so now you guys are sharpening each other, and these ideas are coming along, and you're figuring out how we can use this craft. Like, we could just play baseball and go home, But it's like, no, like I want to use this for God's glory somehow. Like I got to figure this out.
Exactly.
Like I'm not just made to play baseball. You know, I'm made to bring him glory through baseball. How do I do that, Lord? Teach me, show me. And so you're trying to live this out. Crazy, man.
Unbelievable.
And then you find yourself, you close the career, you step into the next season, and it just dawned on me that the place that you land is with the Angels.
Last year. No, so
is that how it happened?
So in 2015 season, I'm still with Rays.
Okay.
Start the season with the Rays. Trade deadline comes around. Hey, the Angel like, yeah, we want DeJesus. So we bring me over. But the sad thing about this is in June, we're playing against the Atlanta Braves. Before the game, we're in the cage just hitting. And I would do, my swing was I'd drop into my legs to get some power and then go. When I dropped into legs, I heard a pop. And I was like, uh-oh, not good. My hip. I knew something was up in my hip. So I played that game, did well that game. But little by little, through that time, I was hitting 330. 330. I'm like crushing it. I wasn't even supposed to be starting. There was an injury the first game of the season. This dude blew out his ankle. Next thing you know, I'm starting, hitting 330. This is unbelievable. I'm thinking I'm a free agent next year. Okay, I'm good. I could go on and could play more. Next, you know, and little by little, before I got traded, I was hitting like 230. Like something like that. It was like I couldn't do anything because
it was just a pop, and then it just slowly degrade.
I didn't know after the season. I went and got an MRI on my hip. I had a 50% torn labrum in my hip, so I had to get off of my hip. So once you lose your power, you're not going to get anything done.
Oh wow!
You're not going to be able to square the ball up, breaking bats all over the place. So I was so sad that I got traded to the Angels because I knew I wasn't, but I didn't want to tell the team. I wanted to play through it because all right. If I tell the team now I have surgery, I miss another year, who wants a 38-year-old coming off of a hip? So I was like, let's just play through it, see what happens.
Got it.
That's my bad.
So how long were you with Tampa Bay?
For so the end of 2013, all of 2014, most of 2015.
And what happened in the playoffs that first year?
Oh, that was sick.
Yeah.
That was sick.
That must have been some fun playing.
Oh, it was unbelievable because I was never on a good team.
Yeah.
Up until that point.
Got it.
Made the playoffs. We had to play game 163. So we beat the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Now we go to the wild card to play the Cleveland Indians.
Okay.
Beat the Cleveland Indians. Now we go to play the Boston Red Sox. And they ended up winning the World Series that year.
Wow.
But
you got to play against the guys.
Dude, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Like Big Papi, all those dudes. But it's unbelievable the difference between playoff games and regular season games.
Really?
The pressure, every play. You don't want to be that guy that makes the mistake.
Well, did you say Red Sox?
The Red Sox. We played against the Red Sox.
So you guys are in the stadium.
So we're in. The first two games are in Boston, and it's just is this
the big green wall? Is that right?
The green monster. Green monster.
Green monster.
Yeah. But it's like every day there, it's packed and it's fun, unbelievably fun to play there.
Yeah.
But they're good, so it always makes it hard to win.
Right.
But the atmosphere is just like you just don't want to be that guy that makes a mistake. You want every pitch.
Yeah.
You have to be on.
Yeah.
So it's just so draining.
Yeah.
After those games, you're like, oh gosh, I want to go sleep.
Right.
Get back up. All right, here we go again.
Yeah.
But they beat us the first two games in home. Then we hit a walk-off homer in game 3, but it's the best of 5. Then they beat us in game 4. But it was unbelievable.
And went on to win the World Series.
Win the World Series, yeah.
But what an adventure.
It was so sick.
You got to play the team.
It got to play.
In that season.
Yeah, that was sick.
So a couple years with Tampa Bay, injury, and to the Angels.
Into the Angels, and I didn't play that much. I was hurt. But it was another thing. It gave me an opportunity to really take these young guys out as well.
Wow.
Take the young guys out, let them experience, give them some wisdom of whatever I had.
It's awesome.
And at that point, I was like, all right, I'm probably retired.
You had known already? You were figuring it out?
I figured like, all right, dude, this is 13 years in.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the average for a player?
6.
6 years.
6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So this is good.
Yeah, that's a great run.
Super thankful.
Yeah,
I was great. I was ready for it. So I was like, all right, let me heal this injury. And let's just see that December. I was like, let's just see if a team would want me. The Arizona Diamondbacks came out. I worked out that day. The next day, I was like, all right, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to have surgery. I'm over it. So 2016 is a wash. Like, I just kind of hung out. I didn't watch baseball. You know, when you get done with the game, you're like, all right, I'm not watching baseball. And next thing the Cubs win the World Series. I was like, wow, a bunch of those dudes were my dude. Like,
crazy.
Anthony Rizzo.
Right.
He was like he was the star of Chicago, but he was one of those guys that leaned on me. I was one of his guys that just give him a routine, understand that being not just on the field, if you can affect lives, it was more of like he loved doing, he grew up with lymphoma cancer or something like that.
Wow.
So to get to the big leagues is unbelievable. And then to give back, that's the thing. I was like, yo, give back, man. This is what you can bring so much life to people.
Yes.
And he's done it on another level. This guy's unbelievable. But I was thankful for those guys. So that the Cubs win the World Series. Next thing you know, the Cubs call me up. They're like, hey, do you want to do the pre and post game for NBC Sports Chicago? And I was like, I never liked. That's one thing I did not want to do. Another one thing that I did not want to do is talk about to be a media guy.
Right.
So I was like, all right, let's just do it. Let's just try it.
Yeah.
Let's see what's up.
Yeah.
So the funny story is the day before the first show, all right, they just won the World Series, so it's like a recap of the World Series. I didn't watch any World Series, but I'm like, hey, everyone did well. Right. They won the World Series. Right. How bad can it really be? Right. So the host of the show gave me episodes to know like how the show's going to work. And he didn't tell me that he gave me the best episodes. So I'm tripping. I'm tripping like watching this. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I already have a stuttering problem. Right? Like, I'm a stutterer.
Yeah.
I'll mess up on words. I'm like, I've never done this.
Right.
So literally I woke up in the morning. I was like, I'm going to call him right now. I was like, but then Spirit was like, no, just chill. Just chill. Go to it. I blacked out. I have no clue what this show looked like.
Wow.
I have no clue.
Can't remember.
Not one thing. I can't remember one thing. It's a blackout session.
Wow.
Like talking into that red light.
Yeah.
Was a real.
Yeah.
It was a real thing.
Yeah.
Real things. Tough. Not easy. These guys that do it.
Yeah.
Are skilled at it.
Right.
It's unbelievable. So went bad, but. It's just like anything. The more you do it, the more reps you get, and you feel comfortable.
Sure.
And by year 3, I felt good.
Wow.
But I was like, I was tired of talking about. You always talk about the same topic over and over and over.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm good.
Right.
I did it. I want to be back with my son because COVID just.
Oh wow.
Was about to happen.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not doing it. Went back, and then COVID hit.
Wow. So you did 3 years of television?
3 years of television.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Wow.
I don't know how. The Lord helped me through that to deal with what people say. He was like, you are this. He had a constant tell me, you are this, because what these people are writing on the bottom, that's just lies. Lies. You are this. And making me continually have to bathe in that.
It's awesome.
Because as people, you read it and it hurts.
Yeah.
You hurt when people say that
Right.
stuff. So I had to get renewed and rewashed, washed. And then 2020, where are we? 2023.
2023.
I think 2 years ago,
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to get baptized for the first time. Unbelievable. So,
wow.
All right. So when I was these stories are crazy. So when I was with Tampa, we have chapels on Sundays. So there's always this guy standing outside the book, just greeting people, loving on people. I was like, oh, who's this guy's nice. His name, like, hey, what's up, man? His name is Dukes.
Okay.
Like
Dukes.
It's like 60-something-year-old dude.
Wow.
And And next you know, got to talk to him. Hey, you want to go to Chipotle, grab something, get in the word. By the end of the season, after games, like Friday night, he'd come over, we'd get in the word, pray, and he'd wake up, go to work. That's my Friday night, was getting in the word, hanging with my brother, getting to know him.
Wow.
And to this day, every Monday at 2 o'clock, we have a Skype. We're on Skype.
Serious? Nice.
Use Skype.
Yes.
We're keeping it old school.
Dukes.
Yeah. So me and Dukes, we get in a word, like half hour catching up, and then a half hour of word or just brotherhood, and this is going now since I retired.
Praise God.
So it's just like you never know who's going to be that person.
That's awesome.
So it's unbelievable. And so I was like, 2 years ago, I was like, hey, Dukes, can you baptize me? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. So we went down he lives in Sarasota, Florida.
Okay.
Went down there, got in his like warm pool.
Yeah, nice. You got it all heated up and everything?
Nice. Got in the pool.
Nice.
He had like songs and stuff. He had some candles. Like, he just
God.
made it super. It was awesome. It was unbelievable. And I'm just thankful that, I just want to follow the word. Like, He says that they baptize in water. Like you were talking about last Sunday.
Yes.
It's something that I want to follow.
Yes.
And I'm thankful that I had the opportunity. I'm thankful for that relationship to be the guy. Like you said, it doesn't matter.
Right.
He's a saint. He's a brother.
That's right.
So he has the power.
Dukes.
So,
Praise God for Dukes.
Dukes, my guy.
Shout out to Dukes.
Dukes, yes. He's going to be listening to this.
That's
my
awesome.
guy. Yeah,
So what a story, man. What an adventure.
Yeah.
What a lifetime already, right?
Right.
It's like a whole life right there. Couple things I got to ask you before we get out.
Yeah.
So first, like, most memorable standoffs. Like, I mean, what pitchers like are staring down at you, like, and you're just like, can't believe there he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's him.
There's so many of them. I would say Roger Clemens was one.
Oh yeah.
Randy Johnson,
Yeah,
the big lefty on
Unreal,
lefty.
right.
I have a great story for that.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Give a couple of these scenarios, because these are legends.
Legendary stuff.
Like, forever will be talked about.
No doubt.
Roger Clemens, my gosh.
Roger
dude.
Clemens, you can just feel his intensity.
Is he a big? He's a massive dude, right?
6'4", 230, just like coming at you.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I got a double on him. I was like, yeah.
Did you really?
You got a double.
Do you remember what he threw?
I think it was fastball.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not waiting around.
Yeah.
I'm like filling in first pitch. That's his splitty was no joke.
Oh, okay.
Split finger would go and then drop.
Got it.
At the end. So I was like, I'm not waiting around. Got a double off him.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson, this is hilarious. In spring training, I'm still not in the big leagues yet. So I'm facing him down in Arizona. It's like the Diamondbacks used to be in Tucson. I'm facing him. I hit one. I hit a.
Wait, if you don't know who Randy Johnson is, tell them who Randy Johnson is.
So Randy Johnson, he's 6'10". He's the 110 pitcher, left-handed pitcher.
Almost 7 foot.
And it looks like he's throwing sidearm.
So
it's coming in 97, 98 miles an hour.
97, 98. The mound is how high?
It's like 3 feet up.
Is it really 3 feet up?
Maybe depends on the
Let's
place.
just say 2.5, 3 feet up, right?
Okay.
Then you got 6'10".
6'10".
Then you have a 3 foot arm coming on top. So this is like this is like 10 feet plus 3 feet. This is almost like 13 feet up. Like, you're seeing this.
Exactly. And he's kind of wild. So you don't know.
Didn't he have a mullet? Like, he had long hair? He had like mustache?
He was a dirty, and crazy. Now he's a photographer.
Is he really?
Photographer.
Oh, hilarious.
He's unbelievable.
Shout out Randy Johnson.
Great shots.
And he's a giant lefty.
Giant lefty. Just one of those, like, guys were scared. You never, like, really feel comfortable in there when he's there. So I get up there. I hit one, and it's good to right center. I'm like, talking to the ball, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm talking to it. Get out. The guy catches it near the wall. So I'm running, and then to run back to our dugout, I ran by the mound. He's like, sit down, kid.
He said that.
Yo, I get to the clubhouse. I'm like, yo, Randy Johnson's talking trash to me. Yes, I made it.
That's awesome.
It was unbelievable.
Wow.
It was unbelievable.
Wow.
Another one, Mariano Rivera. One of the best closers ever. Closers are the guys that pitch the last inning to get the 3 outs, 3 outs of the game to get the win for their team.
Right.
He's one of the I think he was one of the guys
Who's he playing for?
He was at the Yankees.
Okay.
So he was first ballot Hall of Fame. I think it was the first time he's got every vote. So no doubt that this guy's Hall of Fame guy. So my first 3 at bats against him, he has this cutter that looks like a fastball, but at the end moves a little bit and will break your bat. It's like it just cuts in, and you hit it off the sweet spot, and it'll break your bat.
How does that happen?
He had one pitch, and it's all he threw. Literally one pitch. He had a straight fastball and that cutter, and just made his career on that.
Wow.
It was that good.
Wow.
You just didn't see it. You didn't see it to the end, and it's breaking your bat.
Wow.
So my last at bat, I'm like, we're in Yankee Stadium. It's tied 1-1, top of the 9th. I'm like, oh, this is sick. All right, I'm not waiting around. Usually I'm a guy that takes pitches, work the at bat. All right, see, I'm like, all right, I'm swinging first pitch. I'm going up there swinging first pitch. I swing. Right center bleachers, home run.
Are you serious?
Oh my God. I am tripping, running around these bases like, oh my gosh. Like, the story is I just beat the Yankees in, Yankee Stadium off Mariano.
Oh my God.
Yankees Stadium, their comeback, win the game. Sad, but that's unbelievable.
You got
I
the
hit a homer off for Mariano.
Unreal.
Sick. It was
Dude,
so sick, bro.
that's so crazy.
It was crazy.
Any throws from center field that you just like you gun that thing, and any monster plays like from center field, or any you rob any home run rob, like you just rob them.
So my good rob, well, I've robbed a couple, but this one we were playing against the Minnesota Twins, and their fence was like a baggie. So it was like this fence, you can jump into it, it didn't hurt, and it'll just shoot you back off. So you can have confidence. So their center fielder was Torrey Hunter back in the day.
Okay.
He was a guy known to just rob home runs.
Yep.
Very athletic center fielder. So he's up, hits one at center field. I go back, dude, and I'm like literally, like my whole arm is over the fence. I catch the ball over the fence, bring it back. He's like, yo, what are you doing? What am I'm like, wait, you've done that to many of people. You know exactly how that feels. Sorry, buddy, it was you. But it was sick. It was so awesome. It was so awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that was probably my memorable outfield play. But I was a guy that played all the positions. As I got older, I played left and right. So I wanted to be a guy that can be versatile, play everywhere. Yeah.
We got to go to the Grand Slam.
Ooh.
So 2008, is this right? Is this your first Grand Slam?
I think this is with the Cubs.
Okay.
This is with the Cubs. So this is like either 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it? So
my first Grand Slam.
What happened?
So I'm up there. So I didn't start this game. So we're playing the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
And didn't start. I was like, today I'm not swinging a bat. I'm not doing anything today. This is my off day. As a veteran, you get off days. Like, just give your body a rest. You're there, but we're going to try and not play you. So this is like the 7th or 8th inning. Bases loaded, and the righty's pitching, and we have a righty coming up. They're like, Dave, you're hitting. I was like, all right. Did not. I put my helmet on. Put my
bases were loaded.
Bases are loaded.
I mean, were you tripping out that they called you last minute up?
No. Because it's like it's happened before. This happens before. Like, that it's a possibility.
Sure.
All right. I put my batting gloves on, helmet on, walked straight up to home plate. Didn't even take a swing. All right. Working the count. Next, I think it's like 3-2 maybe. This guy throws a slider. Bop. I hit it good. I'm like, if this stays fair, this is gone. Stays fair. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't swing the bat once that day. And I just hit a grand slam. It was like so sick.
Insane.
It was sick, bro.
So are those surreal moments? Like, I mean, the place goes nuts. I've seen a grand slam one time in real time. And I mean, the fans go ballistic.
The only problem, this was at their fields.
No. So silence.
Yeah, it's the best. Silence is the best. Silence. You're like, yes, that's the best. Even better than at home. Silencing the crowd is the best.
So when you ran the bases, were you just like hopping, or like
hopping, feeling good? We got home. You get home, get in the dugout. The dugout is the time I wanted to be pro.
Yeah.
But in the dugout, that's a scream.
Dude, there's nothing like that, though, in sports. Like, when you make that catch or when you make that shot, you hit that. I mean, it's like, The adrenaline is so high.
Oh.
It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a sinking drug, dude, at the highest level. You're just like, I don't know. I love those moments. They're so special.
I remember my walk-off homer against the Mariners with the Royals. We're down 1, bottom 9th, man on first. I'm up. Dude, I hit this guy I hit it, and I'm like, arm up right away. I'm like, that's gone.
Right.
But then Ichiro, he's a great outfielder for the Mariners. I see him going to the wall. I see him starting to step up onto the wall, and he's made catches where he's like standing on the wall and catching. And I'm like, I put my arm down for a second. Once it went over, I was like, yeah.
So you got to be careful, right?
I was like, I don't want to be. Let's be humble. Humble thyself.
Right.
Humble thyself.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Got to get in scoring position. DeJesus into deep right field. Suzuki all the way back. Game over. DeJesus wins it in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Dude, you were showing me a picture of your boy.
Yeah.
And we got to pull up this picture on us. So you're like blown away because he's kind of standing like just like you.
Unbelievable. So we were at a tournament so it's when they're 12 years old, there's a big tournament in Cooperstown, New York that a lot of teams get invited to. So I was one of the coaches. I was a third base coach because I don't want to deal with the coaches. I have to deal with a lot of parents and all that. I'm like, third base is fine for me. So we go down there, and to watch him really play really well, hit a couple homers, and then one of my friends took Steve Hayward. Shout out to you, my brother. Love you, brother in Christ as well. Found this. He took 2 different photos from me playing with the Cubs and him down there with his team. It's unbelievable. We look so crazy together that it's so fun.
How old is your boy at this point?
He's 12 at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah, we'll see if we can get.
I mean, obviously you're training him a little bit, but it's kind of like surreal that he's like literally built like you and like standing like you and like he's the mirror image.
It's unbelievable because I never taught him to. I just want him to stand comfortably.
Wow.
And to see that, it was unbelievable. I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And he loves baseball. Just to watch him play and have fun. And he's a natural leader on the field. So it's so cool to watch him go.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, obviously, it's been a joy of your life to be able to play ball and then watch your son do it. That's got to be awesome.
And I don't. The thing with him is enjoy it.
Yeah.
There's no pressure from my side.
Right.
If you love it, let's go.
Right.
If not, it's okay. It's okay. I want him to know that going in.
Yeah, yeah.
So he understands that, and he's just a joy to watch. It's just a joy to watch. He hits a couple homers and has me taking some pictures.
Nice. Yeah. What is that? That's got to feel amazing when you're a dad. I mean, when boy hits a home run, you're just like, that's my boy.
You'll feel that hopefully one day.
I hope so, dude.
That. I hope you get
that.
that.
I hope so, yeah.
I'm so proud. You're like, because this time with him, you're just like, you're just trying to get the basics in. He's swinging, doing whatever, he or she, whatever.
Right.
But when you see them start clicking and good things happen, and the ball going over the plate, and the proud factor that and they want to just be with their friends, jumping around a home plate, nothing better.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like you've hit the grand slams, you've hit, you hit against Randy Johnson. You
take this.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like there's nothing as magical as like. The kids, and I don't know what it is. I didn't know until I had my own, like I hear parents talk about it, but I just never, there's something in those babies, there's something in those kids, and they're special, and they bring so much joy, and they're honest, and they're real, and it's just, it's the sweet spot of life.
Man, I remember. So this is one of the things that I remember most in my career. So we're playing against the Yankees. My son is there. He's like 3 years old at this point. And me and him are just rolling the ball on the Yankee grass. was like, this is like, goes back to me seeing that grass, and me and him are just being together on that grass.
Yep.
It was like, this is something that I still remember that time.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. I can see the day. I can see what I'm wearing. I can see him just running around, just not knowing, and just throwing the ball to the ground. And then I'm going to roll it, and he's going to go. It's playing fetch, pretty much.
Right.
He's loving it.
Right.
Loving it.
Right. Yeah, they're it's like these small moments, man. They just like, I think because they're pure, there's like nothing else attached to it. They don't even know they're in Yankee Stadium, but they just like want to play with dad.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, I'm with my boy in Yankees Stadium of all places, the dynasty, like the, you know, the.
It's one of your beasts.
Yeah. And no, I love the way you love your son. You know, you bring him to church.
Amen.
And it's so cool to watch you. You know, that you discovered all that stuff along the way. You know, and it's like God's revealed that to you, He's shown it to you, and now you're doing the best you can to impart it to your boy, and let God do the rest. You know, it's amazing.
That's it.
You've been at Legacy for, I think, about 3 years now.
Yeah.
And how did you find the church? I was random.
Yeah. So we were going to Reality LA.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I want something close by.
Sure.
I want to close by. So I'm literally looking for churches on the Maps app.
Yeah.
And Legacy, I was like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
Right around here? Bridges Academy? Yes, we're right, live down the road. So went there, checked it out, and it was the way you walk through the Bible. That was the thing for me. I loved it. I love hearing Jesus's words. I hear the words from God. Like, that's what I wanted to hear. And that's what you do so well. So I want to say thank you for that.
Thanks, brother.
Just preach. And your loyalty to preaching.
Thank you.
To Jesus, not you. It's His word speaking through you.
Yes,
so
amen.
I'm just thankful for that.
Yeah, no, amen. That's it. And you, I mean, likewise, man, I want to say thank you for stepping in, loving the brothers so well.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know this was a pro baseball player sitting right in front of me. You know, you didn't do any of that. You're stinking rock star, and you're just like, no, I just want to be here. We went and got coffee, and you were so kind. And then you've just become one of the brothers here, and I love the way you love on the guys, and you build up the guys, and you do all you take time to do that. A lot of people don't do that, and a lot of the brothers are super blessed by that. So, dude, thank you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing the story. We hope ministers a lot of people, and may the Lord continue to bless and keep you, man, in this journey.
Let's do it.
Yeah. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen.